Coming to you from the award-winning Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge, PCA's 2024 Best of Leaf Midwest Cigar Bar, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge, it's the Final Third Podcast.
Well, welcome back to the Final Third Podcast, episode 143 on our third-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I'm Rob.
I'm Will.
I'm Heine.
I'm Scotty D.
And I'm Mike.
Yeah, so this is our third-year anniversary. Actually, we're one day into our fourth year.
1 day into year
Wow.
4.
Yeah, so that's incredible.
These Smarty Pants wore their 2022 shirts, and
Nice.
Hell yeah.
we wore our podcast shirts. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's a solid.
nice.
We're a nice balance.
We got a good
It's a
balance.
nice balance of shirts today.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. So for this special occasion, we brought out our initial inaugural barrel pick, and we decided to do a little
yeah, we didn't want to
pre-gaming,
wait, so we poured it up.
So we're getting started.
Oops.
Yeah.
I was thirsty.
Oh,
Scotty
yes.
D was thirsty.
Somebody's
he wanted
gonna
to
do
drinking.
Yep, I
So-
wanted some booze.
And what are we smoking, Rob?
We are smoking the Padron 4000 Maduro.
This one's for you, Scotty.
It's taken me since I've had Padron this week to get these in because I think they've just been sold out that long. But great cigar. It's in a little bit lower price point, but I wouldn't say super low because it's still Padron.
Lower for Padron,
Lower for Padron, yes.
but still middle of the
still
pack for
$10 cheaper than the
Yeah.
26.
So can you explain the series 3000, 4000, like what the difference is?
Yeah, I
between
mean,
those?
honestly, the 1000 series were really created to have a more of a budget-friendly approach, especially when they first opened them up. You could get some of them for around $10. Now they're creeping up because everyone's having their increase. I just got my invoice for last shipment and they had an increase. So, but the good thing about them is their increase was like 3%. So it's not a huge amount. I've had some that were like 15 to 20% in a year,
Yeah.
just 4 times.
Yeah, it sucks.
But yeah, so the 1000 series are going to be. I don't know if I still feel like it's mostly long filler, but the ash doesn't hold on as long as the regular ones. I know they're using some chop as well,
Okay.
which is not a big deal. It's still the same tobacco. It tastes as good. It just may not hang on as long, but it just gives an option for a little bit more budget friendly Padron.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. We had that picture of yesterday when the guy was stacking that Aladino.
Yeah,
Oh, was it
all the way to the band.
I thought it was a Las Calaveras.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
Las
that was Las
Calaveras.
Calaveras.
Yeah,
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 it was.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. he was doing the inverted smoking, trying to keep it going, and I think he made it almost all the way to the band
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the solid ash.
I'm
So-
not that dedicated.
Cold draw on this. I got
shit, I
pretty
did.
heavy on the Raisin Bran.
I skipped it. I missed
Did
it.
you? Yeah,
Totally
it was-
jumped right to light.
It was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. It was definitely Raisin Bran. Yep, a little bit of that kind of dark fruit.
I got a little
to
bit
it.
of, I almost want to say mint, but it's not mint.
All right.
Like, I would say what you would consider fresh mint, not like a minty, like menthol.
Right.
Okay.
It's weird because I don't get that.
Now, I'll be curious to
A
how
lot.
long it takes you guys to smoke this, because I smoked one yesterday or day before. Excuse me, 2.5 hours.
Whoa.
Yikes.
And I still had probably a good inch and a half on it. So,
Okay.
nice long smoke. It could be the only one we smoked today. We'll find out.
Could be.
We'll see what happens.
Challenge
so,
accepted.
Man, yeah, getting into this inaugural barrel. Had to bring it back, right?
Oh,
3-year
God.
anniversary, had to bring back the inaugural, the very first barrel pick ever at Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge.
Yeah.
This is insane. I mean, the nose is, Will said it perfect, it's brown sugar. You get a little bit of cinnamon on the
Yeah.
palate.
That orange
the
citrus.
finish is, citrusy.
Yep.
Like, this is solid.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. This is one of those bourbons that you can, any bourbon note you love, you'll probably be able to find in this
Yeah.
bourbon. It has a little bit of everything. You'll
Yeah.
find your caramels, you'll find the brown sugar, cinnamon, all that stuff. And the citrus is what kind of sneaks up on you a little bit. You don't
Yeah.
realize it's there until you're like, oh, someone says it, you're like, that's what I'm tasting.
It kind of reminds
Yeah.
me like 1920. Old Forester 1920 has that real kind of just bitter orange peel, like just kind of hidden in the back.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of that.
I
This
definitely
is
get
one
the
of the
bacon
things
on
I would.
this one.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
one of those things I really wish Indiana whiskey would have figured out that they really had something special and kept going with it. I don't know if they ever will or not because they're great distillers. Their White Dog is absolutely delicious.
Still chugging.
They just like to flavor that shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
God, I'd
Yeah.
like to see them release stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Small Batch still has some Indiana whiskey stuff, right? Or did they get away from Small
unfortunately,
Batch?
we no longer have that partnership with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I
they
couldn't
decided
remember
to
if they were still around or
self-distribute.
not.
Yeah, I think there were some. I don't know the details on it, but I think it got to like kind of like what Rob was saying, just not
Too
enough
much of the flavored stuff.
production, more flavored stuff.
Sure.
a little more challenging to move some of those products. So.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, like when that's like not your main focus of things, like there's other brands that are
Yeah.
doing like specifically flavored whiskey, especially what Small Batch has in their warehouse too. Like some of that stuff is coming from these distilleries that specifically focus on flavored things.
You could use
It's
yours
kind of
for
hard
too.
to compete with, brands like that are wanting to do
Yeah.
everything.
Well, and we talk about Starlight all the time. Starlight has the blackberry whiskey, which
Yeah.
actually is a really good flavored whiskey. They're using real blackberries. They just came out with their peach. They're using
Oh, I have not tried
using
that
those
one
donut peaches that they have down there. And everyone I've heard of has tried it said it's just like the blackberry with the peach version. I'm like, oh, that actually sounds like it would be pretty good. So we'll probably bring some of that in to make some of those peach drinks.
There you go. Gives me the chill just thinking about that one.
God,
That sounds good.
we were eating those donut peaches down there when we were on that pick with
Oh yeah, with
Dan Kidd and all
Dan
the guys.
Kidd
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Garrett, Lynette,
Garrett and all that. Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah. So like, I never posted any of it. I have a lot of those videos. That could be good members content too.
I
We went
would.
to do this pick with Garrett's foundation for his wife and
Mission 33.
Mission 33, and man, we're just getting like this behind the scenes tour on like side by sides. And we're stopping in the fields, and they're just plucking peaches. Like, here, eat this. Like, oh, okay. We're picking berries off the bush. Like,
Pull down the one side where the
Yeah.
corn is. He's like, try this sweet corn.
Yeah,
We
eat
pull it
this
out
corn.
off the cob. You pull it, you eat it, and it tastes like it was cooked.
yeah,
It was that good.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. So
That's
that was a
We
good
were
one.
pretty full
Jansen
before we
with
even started
us, yeah.
drinking.
Oh man, that was a great trip. I'll have to post some of those. I have a lot
I'd
of
like to
content
get down
from
there
that.
and see those guys again. Maybe do a podcast down
Was
there
that
sometime
the
too.
Should.
the double oaked that you guys picked?
It was,
Yes,
yeah,
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 yeah.
Those are
which
good.
we still
Those
have
are
on the
good.
bar
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. How's it going?
It just goes to show what quality ingredients can do. It's like you can make some very edible food by having a bunch of artificial stuff and preserved stuff, but having like good fresh ingredients. It's kind of funny. For some reason it's because I was sick. I watched Picard, the Star Trek series again.
Yeah, yeah.
And they always talk about the food that comes out of the replicator versus like the stuff that's like somebody went to the effort of making something fresh. And they're like, oh, this is definitely not replicated food. And I'm like,
Man,
well,
I could use a replicator now though. 'cause, like,
yes.
God, that'd be
we
nice,
all
wouldn't
could.
it?
we have like 4 microwave meals and like some microwave breakfast sandwiches at the house because like we packed all the coolers and took them over there. So like when we went to move the food over, it was like I don't have any coolers, so everything's still in the fridge at the old house. So we have no food, I have no cups, I have nothing.
You know enough people around here, you can get food.
So yeah, when they came over the other day to hang out, I didn't have any. I had 1 Glen for my travel kit, and then I had 2 glass travel bottles
Yeah.
from the whatever aged
That
and
little
more one.
kit,
So
yeah.
they're big travel bottle.
Yeah.
But so they're drinking out of travel bottles, and I'm drinking out of a Glen.
Yeah, we talked to you about
Yeah.
you last week.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause-
sure you
'cause
did.
You were feeling pretty.
I was.
pretty good. No
Yeah.
pain. No pain for you at all.
That's what sucks, man. When you start getting sick and you don't drink for a few days.
Yeah, and then you start again.
It goes away so fast.
It does save you a little money, though.
It does save you a little bit of money
I'm saying.
For a few days.
for a few days.
Then
Then you
you're
get
back
back
in.
and
And then
you're
you
trying
get
to
back
build
in
your
the
palate,
swing
build
of
it
it,
back
yeah.
up. Man,
Oh.
Yep.
my tolerance is finally starting to get back a little bit, but not quite. This is going to be a test.
This
today.
is this goes good together.
Well, we got a lot
Man.
of barrel proof options.
Yeah.
Actually, I think everything up here is barrel proof.
I
Everything's
think so.
Yes,
I'm
this one- this
excited
one's
about
110.
that larceny.
I am too.
Yeah, because
Actually,
we've
all
always
these-
enjoyed it. But have you had it yet, Will? Did you the
which one?
A125?
I'm not. No.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I just
I
saw
saw
that
it
at the
at
store the
Meyer.
other day. Yeah.
Yeah, just was at Meyer, and they
What
had it
that-
on sale. Like,
59.
no, it was like $39 or something like
What?
that. Yeah, it was some crazy low
Oh,
price.
nice.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe 49. I don't
Well,
know.
that
It
makes
was,
up for the jack price.
right, which was, I mean, it was $90 for the jacks.
Which is
so
about
it was-
right for
that's-
a
I
barrel
thought that was
pig.
about
The
right.
initial price.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the initial price. It was kind of funny when they first got this in because this is a pick for Meyer, and that probably means it came from Michigan because you were the only one to get an Indiana pick.
Right, right.
So they probably shipped it down from Michigan, and
Or
they
this was the
didn't
first
know.
2025 pick, maybe. Who
It
knows?
says 24.
Okay, okay,
10, 26, 4.
okay, okay, good.
But yeah, they didn't have a price on it, and so the first person that picked one up, they scanned it, and it was $999.99.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it was like,
I'll
Back on the
pass.
shelf.
yeah,
I'll pass.
I'm out on that.
Sold.
I did. I went and bought. I tried to buy a bottle of Jack Bonded when it first came out in Danville, and I went to the. She went to ring it up. It was $999. I said, "Well, I know it's not that, so it's got to be like 10 times less than that, maybe." Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone missed a decimal
This
point
is what it
somewhere.
rang
Your
up
decimal
as.
points in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
$29.99.
I feel like they just do that like it's a placeholder,
Yeah.
right? They get the
Yeah.
product as a placeholder. They haven't changed it in the system yet, and so yeah, make sure and pay attention.
Whatever.
Otherwise, you might pay $1,000 for a bottle of whiskey that is
Yeah.
not worth $1,000.
Yeah.
Could be
Well-
like on Office Space where he's like, oh, he's messed up the decimal point.
Yeah. Well, this cigar, I like this cigar because it definitely. You guys all know Scott Johnston. We talk about him all the time. He's a Penguins fan. Screw those guys. But
Well, everybody has their faults.
everybody has their faults. This is his palate.
Yeah.
This is his palate.
So
It's got that cocoa. It's got the spice. It's got all that stuff. It's the things he's looking for, which I know he loves his cigar. So
Oh yeah.
So here's what I'll say. Like, I love the flavor on it. I'm not a fan of how it draws. Like,
I'm not
really?
either.
It's no. It's just I'm not able to pull as much smoke as I want.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
mine's open.
I'm double puffing every
mine's
time.
open.
To
Mine's
really
open.
pull
Yeah.
hard to get
I haven't noticed.
I think it could be the length. I'll be curious what happens once
Once
we
it
get into the
comes down a
second,
little
third.
bit, let's see
Yeah,
if it
I've
gets
seen that happen a lot with
Yeah.
this,
Now,
size.
if
and
you guys are squeezed on the side, are yours pretty stiff?
I'd call this definitely stiff.
See, mine's a little more spongy, so
See,
mine's
if you
mine's
would've
drawn
shown
great.
up
Okay,
for
yeah.
Cigar
Mine's
101.
spongy enough. It's just kind of got
Is it?
a light draw.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's okay. I mean, I'm getting enough. It's just like
I like more
slightly
just want a
annoying.
little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a spot right here where I can kind of tell.
Feel
it's,
it?
It's
Okay.
a little.
Little
Yeah.
So
nod.
if you showed up for the Cigar 101, Rob basically told you don't squeeze your cigar because
Yeah.
you run the risk of cracking it.
Well,
It's like, hey, everybody squeeze it.
Maduros you can a little bit, especially once you light it up. You can kind of massage it and maybe work that
I'm
knot
not
out a
getting
little
any
bit.
smoke.
Connecticut's, I recommend don't do it at all. But
That's exactly how you
Well,
do it,
I mean, you
yeah.
can kind of feel like I can always tell when I'm having a hard time drawing, not just because of the draw itself, but I can feel the heat in the cigar.
Yeah.
building up.
It's
yeah.
driving
Yeah.
through, right? And
Yeah.
and it kind of frustrates
you
me a little
tunnel
bit
it.
sometimes because I'm like, I know that's not what I want. It's gonna create some flavors that I might not want in there.
yeah,
But it's like keep puffing or light.
Blow through the
I'm
filler and don't
gonna
get enough of
relight it
the-
like
the
yeah.
wrapper.
that may be
Yeah.
part of the reason why I don't tend to go to the 1,000 series as much, and probably why they make them
Larger
cheaper.
size.
Because they're probably blasting through these. Everybody rolls these,
Right.
so you're probably going to get the inconsistency a little bit. Where on the rest of the Padrones, you don't have inconsistency.
I will
They're gonna
say the
smoke
flavor
great.
is
It's
awesome.
good,
Like
yeah.
it's really, really good. And if a cigar, has really great flavor and it's not annoying me, it's not annoying me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's kind of one of those things I'm not really going to think about it. It's just going to be okay. I'm double puff. That's just what I'm
Yeah.
going to do as an automatic kind of response. So it's not like it's a bad thing. I wouldn't not smoke this because of that.
Right, right.
I would
Yeah.
still definitely recommend
Well,
get in the shop, get one,
It's
try
so,
it.
it's so good with this
Yeah.
bourbon.
yeah,
It really is.
brings
I
out
don't. I
that
don't care about
sugary
double
flavor.
puff.
What do you guys
brings
think
all
about the
sweetness
retro,
out.
by the way?
Oh, retro.
I
nice.
haven't tried yet. Yeah.
It's about halfway between the 64 and the 26 on the retro.
Heavy pepper.
Yep.
It's
a little bit
It
earthy.
definitely
isn't it?
gets you
peppery.
very earthy.
but a
very
black
rare.
pepper to me.
Yeah.
Not,
Yep,
not, a, not a
absolutely.
red pepper.
I'm
not a
getting
cayenne.
black pepper out of this one.
But there's definitely kind of a barnyard element to it that's kind of nice.
You get
Yeah, I
that
think-
out of all that Padron tobacco, I feel like.
Yeah.
Some of what is it? The 6,000 is the one that gives me the red pepper.
Is it?
Okay.
And it's
See, and I thought they were. I was pretty sure they're all the same blend. It's just the
I don't know
size
what it is.
difference.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe the
changes it.
size. Yeah,
Different
is
amount of
you get
filler in it. Yeah.
a little bit different taste out of it.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I like all the Padron.
And I would consider this to be probably like just a little bit longer Toro, maybe 6.5-inch Toro or something like that.
Oh,
No.
it's good stuff.
Will if I remember correctly, like Padron, it's not one that you typically go to. It's not really your jam.
It's not. I like them. When I go into that humidor,
There's others for that price.
there's
there's a lot.
some that I really really like a lot that I'm gonna migrate to those just
Sure.
because of my palate.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
but well constructed cigar, good flavor on all of them. There's just some I like a little better. That's
Yeah.
all. You know.
Yeah.
That's
I think
fair.
it is in some cases, a budget question too. Like
It
once you
is.
get to this level, you're going to be more choosy about your cigars.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay $20 to $30 for a stick, and go, oh yeah, that one's just mediocre for my palate.
Right, right.
I'm not going to pay that. I'm going to go get the one that I like for 25 or 30 bucks.
Honestly, like I also think about cigars that I like that are going to fit my lifestyle. I drive a lot. I'm in the car a lot. I
Yeah.
travel a lot. I want to have a cigar that I know I can smoke from one place, from point A to point B, and be done with it and not waste it, and then but still have a good cigar. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the ones that are going to be a little lighter, that maybe I do in early morning. I've got some on the way home where I want something really nice and rich and full body.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's, you know,
See, mine usually goes into time frame. Like if I were to get a Padron, I want to sit down and concentrate on smoking that cigar and enjoying it.
Yeah.
100%.
If I'm just
Yeah.
running out to the garage to have a cigar before I leave to go to a game or work or whatever or anything like that, I don't want a cigar that I'm going to have to worry about. Well, if I have to put this out 15 minutes early, I don't want it to be a Padron.
You never feel bad about having a McAuliffe Red.
No.
It's $10 cigar.
No, you
it's
really don't.
awesome,
Yeah,
and you're like, oh well, I only made it halfway through this one. That sucks, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
I got 24 more in that box.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what is nice about the McAllister. We talk about it all the time. It doesn't matter. You can smoke that as your everyday, on the golf course, as a special cigar, and you're always going to enjoy it regardless of what you do. And you don't feel bad. You know, $9 for the Toro, $8 for the Robusto. I mean, with Indiana taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually $1 cheaper than everywhere else, and that don't have taxes. So I mean, that's a cheap cigar to really be able to enjoy it that well. So, and the
Yeah.
purple's coming, so I'm excited
Looking
about
forward
the
to
purple.
that.
I am
Yeah,
too.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
one
Any
too,
other
so.
big PCA event, or PCA like?
I haven't really heard
announcements
much.
yet? Nothing yet.
I
Haven't
know a
heard
lot of people
much.
try and keep everything under wraps until actual release
Yep.
there, but.
I'm sure Espinosa will probably at least announce or release the Las Seis Provincia for the year, which probably won't be until later in the year. The Warhead 11 should be they should be
Yes.
reaching out
Yes.
about that. So I know Espinosa will. I mean, Padron, I don't know what they'll release. I mean, they did the 80th, and I didn't bring them in here only because they're an $80 cigar.
Yeah.
It's like I don't, if someone wants to buy it, great. I'll bring them in
Yeah.
here, but I still feel weird about selling an $80 cigar.
Yeah, you don't want to price yourself out of it and then
Yeah.
get that reputation of, oh, I can't afford anything there.
Right,
So,
right. And that's the thing. We're in a world now where $16, $18 cigars kind of becoming normal.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a lot of money to spend on something you're lighting on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's really
I
rough.
don't know. Have you seen his firework display?
Well, that's
That is true. Well, Scott isn't normal, so
I try not to be.
We got to get our hands on some Chicakas.
Yeah.
well, we did get some of those strike forces.
Good, yeah.
Well, no,
Oh,
not,
yeah,
not
yeah.
in here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not in here.
Not in
no,
here.
no, no.
Oh, okay.
We all
Dang.
got some because
Yeah,
Dave
yeah,
went to
yeah,
take care of
yes.
us.
Yeah, shout out Dave.
Dave, yeah.
Thank you, Dave. That was
Those were really good.
Those were
They
really
were
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
So we gotta
I
get
just
our hands
smoked
on
mine.
That
like,
was a Cigar
Still in
Dojo
your phone
release.
case.
What'd you think?
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Good
Great.
cigar.
loved
Yeah.
it. It's what I
Still got the
expect.
fans on
from-
his phone.
Oh, yeah, Strike
I got the
Totally-
Strike Force band on
There you
the.
go. There you go.
Keep it in my.
That was
Totally
good.
what I
Yeah.
expect from
Yeah.
a chef.
So another shout out to Dave Lakes again. Might as well hit him twice, right? He actually brought me a cigar for our anniversary. He brought me the Opus X
Oh, gosh.
Dubai release.
What?
Nice.
Best Opus X I've ever had.
Oh, yeah. I would
and I'm not a
imagine.
big Opus X fan. It
I
was
think
actually
they're a little
good.
overrated.
Well, very overpriced too.
And, yeah, I mean,
But it was actually a really good, probably the best one I've had before that one. So thank you, Dave, for that. That was awesome.
It's Dubai, man. It's gonna
Dubai.
be Dubai comes with a price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Any place in
Always.
the desert that makes ski resorts,
Right.
where you can
Yeah, indoor
fucking
ski
snow
resorts.
ski,
Yeah.
their cigars are going to be up there.
Well,
Dude,
they're,
the stuff they've
God,
done,
it's
you go on
insane.
Google Maps and you see like the stuff that they've done out there, and it's just like unfinished
insane.
projects.
Yeah.
oh, you
they
should
start
see
them and
the
just
time
didn't finish
lapses
it.
Oh, I bet the time lapses
where it
are
started
incredible.
in like the 70s and how it's gone up until today, and you just watch all this stuff just flourish. It literally looks like if you started a petri dish and stuck it in an incubator, it just goes.
I believe
That's
it.
the epitome of FU money.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's
Well, you
called oil money.
You got billionaires out there buying the police department Lambos
Yeah.
so that they can get the license plate with a single digit on it.
Dude, that's the dumbest shit.
I wonder which
That's
is.
how all the Dubais have.
I wonder
all
which
the-
one's
Oh, that's
richer.
funny.
Is Dubai or Singapore?
I mean, I feel like it's
I
probably
feel like it's
Dubai.
gotta-
I would
I'd
think it
say
has to be
Dubai.
Dubai.
You think so?
Yeah.
So Singapore, the reason that there's all those
can only sell so many mail order
motorbikes versus the cars, you have to pay the full price of the car every year in taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Good for them.
Wow.
And then you see like all these Lamborghinis and Ferraris driving around.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
but they're like
Yeah,
20
foreign.
grand over there.
Yeah. They're not registered in Singapore.
So my friend's brother and his sister-in-law, they moved to Singapore and live there now, and they love it.
Really?
It is super safe. They
Crazy clean.
There's no crime.
Yeah.
Their kids can come and go, play wherever they want to. It's just they love it. Like they're all in on it.
What are we doing wrong?
Man.
Their
Politics.
not enough time for
entire
that.
wait a sec. Their
That's
entire
another
country
podcast.
runs on it's all banks and it's 50 miles wide by like 10 miles tall. It's a city.
Size of a state.
It's a city
Just
state.
a little bit
Like,
bigger.
it's
yeah.
Rhode Island.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Well, I know we don't talk politics all the time, but one thing that happened here recently was Elon Musk sent out to all the government employees and said, "Please send in every day what you've done that day," and all their managers said, "Just ignore that." I'm like, why not? Figure out what these guys are doing every day and figure out if they're even worth the salary they're making.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 101.
Well,
That's
yeah.
101, and they're
Bill
not doing
Clinton
it.
Bill Clinton proposed this. No fan of Bill Clinton or anything, but
Yeah.
he proposed this back in like 90 whatever
Yeah.
of government efficiency stuff.
Nobody
and
wants
they
to do
never
it.
followed through with it.
I bet
But
he-
everybody
I bet
was
he's
on board
pissed
with
now.
it at the time.
Yeah.
Everybody
Clinton's
was like,
so
"This is
pissed right
awesome.
now."
This is great."
Yeah.
You know, both sides were
That
like,
was
"This
my
is
idea. That was my idea. Elon stole it.
I didn't inhale.
Damn it, Elon.
I did
Hillary's
not
over
have
there.
sexual
Check 'em out.
relations with that.
I was gonna say, there's nothing new in politics. It's all been tried before.
I saw a meme on Facebook after that, and it was like that my wife is paying too close of attention to Doge because she asked me to have a report to her by the end of the day of how I contributed to our marriage this week.
That's great.
I love it. I love it.
Like, that's crazy.
Give me your daily response.
Yeah.
Doge.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, no more politics. That's it. That's our
That was
politics
it.
for the week.
Well, that wasn't
Yeah.
even really politics. It's just that's common sense. Was like you're told to do your job and then report what you do for your job.
Yeah, you think
Whatever.
Lisa would let you get away with? Don't submit what you did or what you ordered this month. We'll just wait and see what happens when we get the bill.
Yeah, that's a daily thing, man. What are you talking about?
That's how bookkeeping works, right?
It is.
Lisa pops in. Did you order this?
I don't think so.
No, of course
No.
not.
Oh God, no.
They must have sent that for free.
It's kind of like when you
That's
bring
somebody
home
else's
12
order.
bottles of bourbon. You're like, yeah, I bought one, and they gave me 11 for free. It was
It
amazing.
was crazy.
So what do we want to drink next, guys? What do we?
Oh,
That's,
man.
That's a good question.
So
You
I've
pick.
got the.
Should we go to the weeder first? It's going to be probably lighter on the palate.
If everything's barrel proof,
or
that
should-
might be the best. but-
Yeah. I think that's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's 120.
Yeah,
I
knew
mean,
it
they're
was-
all going to be
24.
probably
They're
120
all-
This
plus.
is. I will say this wood hat is 100. So,
We could go with the wood hat
130.
first.
Okay.
but-
We could do wood hat
yeah,
first. That's
okay.
fine.
Let's do wood
Yeah,
hat.
let's-
Because this one's what, 118?
That one's 110.
110. 110.
Yeah, so
Well,
going
it's
110 to
not.
100.
Well,
yeah.
ish.
They print labels
Yeah.
up with 110 on all their barrel proof stuff. It's like they have no idea.
No, they don't.
They're
They
not
don't do that.
checking it.
Yes, they are.
Yes. Of course they are.
Yes, they are.
Of course they are.
It's amazing how every barrel comes out at 110.
The way you said that made me think of Blazing Saddles.
So,
Gentlemen, we got to keep our phony baloney jobs.
gosh,
Yeah.
what was it? 2 years ago, we did a barrel pick with wood hat through
Yeah.
IBC,
Yeah, IBCs.
and we ended up picking 2 barrels.
Has
But
that
while
been
we were
2
there,
years ago?
I think so.
Holy
yeah.
cow. Wow.
Yeah, that was the Rubenesque and the Bloody Butcher.
Rubenesque
yeah.
and Bloody
Yeah.
Butcher, yeah. So,
So good.
while we were there, Gary let us taste a experimental barrel he had of orange corn.
It was no more than 9 months.
No more than 9 months. It was absolutely delicious. And this was a new corn varietal that they engineered. And this is the first corn that's ever been genetically, or I guess, engineered specifically for distillation.
Wait, I thought that was up in Newtown. No, never mind.
Oh wait, what?
Shots fired.
No, we'll get him on the show soon.
Yeah, but
So this is the orange corn?
this
Yes.
is the orange corn. Yeah,
I haven't had this.
first ever. Yeah, 100 proof.
Who dat?
Was this just released?
Yeah, this is batch one. This is the first corn that was bred for bourbon. Is basically what it says.
Ever?
And this comes in.
I like the
at
color of it.
100
That is a
proof,
deep, dark color.
and
It's got a really nice light nose.
It is, yeah. It's not very aggressive.
I don't have the proof on it, but oh no, it's 100 proof.
gotta
I
be
don't
100.
have the mash bill. I don't know if it's 100% orange corn.
I think it was. Well, it was when we were out there. That one we tried.
That is so mild, but in a really nice way.
Yeah.
Like a lot of mouthfeel to it.
I feel like the ones we tried. Well, it was also a little higher proof. I felt like it was a little bit more viscous. This is still viscous, but
But
on
it's-
the palate, it doesn't feel as viscous.
Well, we were drinking it at cask.
we
right?
were.
So-
Yeah.
It is still
good.
pretty. I mean,
Still
it's still
good.
pretty coating, pretty
It is.
soft.
It is.
You know, all things considered.
Soft.
It's like buttery cornbread. Like
Yeah.
on
That's a
the
good.
nose.
That's a good descriptor right there. Buttery cornbread.
That actually is a really good descriptor.
God, even the aroma's like that. Now that you said it, it's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
I can't tell if this is cold or cooling.
But it's definitely delicate, right? Like
Yeah.
I think soft was a great.
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's very soft.
but in a nice way.
Yeah, it's not like it has no flavor soft. It's very
Like
yeah,
dangerously crushable.
You know what it kind of makes me think of?
Yeah.
It honestly makes me think in terms of the mouthfeel and kind of what I think Japanese single malts.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like
I
just,
could- yeah.
Yeah.
it's not
similar.
the Japanese single malt flavor, but
No.
that mouthfeel
Yeah.
that kind of, it kind of has that a little bit too, for me.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I think with things like this that are like, oh, this is orange corn. Like I want to have a citrus flavor in it, just because of the name.
'Cause
I
you hear
guess.
orange.
Like, I hear
Yeah.
orange, and like I want it to have some sort
That's
of citrus.
That's what Chris Gordon was saying. And
Yeah.
Chris tried it Friday night, and he's like, "Gosh, is it just me or does it taste orange?" I said, "Well, I think there's the power of persuasion that
subliminal.
you
I
think so,
want it to
too.
taste orange."
I want like I was searching for that when I tried, and I
We
wanted
should
it
give
to
this
be
to
there.
the
but-
podcast down in Indianapolis and see if he gets any orange on it.
I will say, I think buttered, what do you say,
Cornbread.
cornbread, that is just about as,
It's right on.
as
It's
perfect
so
of a
good,
descriptor. It's not quite that sweet,
No,
right? It doesn't, but all the rest of it is all there.
Yeah, they don't
That's
even give
amazing.
that good of a description on it on their own website.
who ate? Yeah,
I don't think they really do a whole lot with their website, to be honest with you.
I think they just are right there on the interstate on I-70.
They're
and
just making
This is
whiskey.
made from
So-
orange flint corn that was bred by Wood Hat Spirits just for bourbon. That's their whole
Yeah.
description.
That's it.
That's it. No
Okay.
mash bill, no nothing, and then it just basically just says-
Gary knows two things, man. He knows corn and he knows wood.
Wood.
And
Yep,
that dude,
yep.
because putting these in these smaller barrels, you got to really be careful, right?
Not only small barrels, but in shipping containers.
And this is
And
not
so much heat.
This is not. I don't even get really a whole lot of oak at all, if any.
No.
No.
I don't get it. Yeah,
Which
I don't.
You would expect. You would think, wow, I'm probably going to get some oak notes.
Well,
on
this is
here.
probably only 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
It really
So-
doesn't have a sugary note.
Well, you
to
said it was what,
like-
9 months or 6 months when you guys tried
It
it?
was either
originally?
6 or 9. It
think
wasn't
it was
very
6,
long.
Rob,
Was
yeah.
it 6?
I mean,
Okay.
Rob, you're always
so-
looking for kind of the sweeter side of things. Do you think
Some
that
of
this
them.
really has any kind of sweetness?
No.
I
No,
mean,
I'm getting
I don't-
more. I'm getting more of the almost not drying, but the effects of the corn on this.
I do get a little sweetness, but it's weird. I get it on the finish, which is not up front. Like normally my palate, I get the sweetness on the tip of my tongue and the mid palate, and if there's any spice, it comes in on the back end, right? But on this finish, I get a caramely kind of sweet thing going on. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I'm not aggressively sweet,
Right.
but
Yeah,
sweet
yeah.
nonetheless.
Let me put
Yeah.
this in your head. Think Texas Roadhouse honey butter.
Okay.
I hate you.
Yeah.
It's almost that. It's almost that. It's almost that butter with the sweetness in
Yeah,
there.
think about that, Mike. How's that
fuck you, I'll go eat that every time. I don't care.
He's
I
gonna
go
feel
there
like
and I'm
crap
like-
for 2
I
days.
go there and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm not going to do it today, and then we'll go. And I
Jen's going to be like, you're not allowed to stay at the house.
I
You
like
got to
that.
go
Yeah,
somewhere
because
else.
it's more,
Yeah.
it's more of that than it is caramel. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they listed it more maple than it did anything, and then they had on the palate that it was maraschino cherry, but I really don't get that much.
I don't
Cherry.
get, I don't,
I
get,
don't-
I don't get
the-
maple or cherry in
No.
this.
But
I
again,
can get
this
a
is
little maple on the
But a
on
good
the
sweet
palate,
cream
but no.
butter. I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
Will, on the yeah.
this is Gary doing something that only Gary can do that no one else has and no one else has done. And shout out to those guys, man.
So,
cheers.
will
to
you
Gary.
guys, are you guys still distributing Wood Hat at all? I know they don't have a lot, but
we haven't pulled a lot of their product lately. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
It's sold really good up front, but we need to figure that out because this should be available for people to try.
It is
yeah, I
really,
agree.
really good.
I would
like
definitely
that.
love to get a case of this and put it on the bar. I think this would be something that people would be excited about.
What's the price point on that one? Is that up there as with the
I
other
think
ones?
this
I
was
think
about
the pickle is
80.
pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
80,
the
okay.
MSRP
Yeah, but
right now
80's
is
not-
91.
90, okay.
Yeah, I think I paid 80 for it.
I mean, it's not terrible, I guess. Some of these specialty corn releases are, 100 plus now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Grain
seeing
to
it
glass.
yeah, the grain, $99, 105, 120.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
Yeah.
you're getting
That's a
up there
lot.
with some of these like ridiculous things that you're buying their branding is
Yeah.
pretty much what you're doing. I don't think that's necessarily the case with places like Wood Hat. You're not really
No.
paying for that brand. You're paying for the artisan part of it. Like this is art.
Unique, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
I don't think I care for this cigar with this bourbon. I think
That
there
might
would be
be
some
throwing it off a
really.
little bit.
I think there'd be some really great alternatives though. I
Yeah.
think there could be some
That's
really.
fair,
I
yeah.
actually kind of want to try Cameroon with this.
Cameroon or a crema? You know, something
A crema
yeah.
definitely, but I almost feel like some of that Cameroon kind of I don't know, some of those bread spice, the baking
Yeah.
spice thing,
Yeah.
could really go nice with this and change it from a cornbread almost to some other
Yeah.
kind of bread note. But
I was almost
yeah,
thinking street taco.
a street taco. Ooh, okay.
Oh, there you
Go
go.
ahead,
Yeah,
Lotte.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Sumatra.
Oh, that's
the
a
barbacoa.
yep,
Yeah, yeah.
that could work. Yeah.
What about your Metropolitan with this?
I
Do you think
I
that would
think
be
it
good?
would be fantastic
Do you think
with
so?
it. I
Okay.
think
I
the,
think so,
the
'cause
creamy and the
it's-
buttery together.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah.
Yep, and I think you get just a bit more of the sweetness because the sweet tip on the Metro. Yeah,
'Cause
I'd
this-
like to try the lifestyle.
This is a little
One of the lifestyle
oh.
ones of this.
So let's talk about that.
I
for a
haven't
minute.
had one yet. I
Okay.
I just I got
So I
my
know
box
Alan,
home.
Alan smoked one the other day. Did you smoke
No,
yours?
I brought it with me.
Okay.
I don't have it.
Have
So-
you had the
So
freestyle
Lisa,
ones?
Lisa smoked a couple of them and she liked them, and I took a puff off of hers. And the first, right after the puff, I'm like, okay, there's a little bit of sweetness, and literally like 10 seconds later, my entire mouth was just molasses maple syrup, and it was like an hour before it got out of my mouth.
Really?
It
In a
was
bad way or like?
For me, it was a bad
Okay.
way because I don't like
Stuck
sweet.
around too long?
It was too long, but for someone that likes sweet, oh, it would be a great
Okay,
cigar for them.
but think buttered cornbread with molasses.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, it
Or
could be.
some
I think it
spicy-
would be
Yeah,
good.
it could be fantastic.
Huh.
Yeah,
But I will say the people that have smoked them after they gotten past like that first inch or so, they said some of that sweetness is still there, but it goes. It's not as prevalent as you first
That'd
light it
probably
up.
be a great pairing with an Amberana.
There's nothing
This
to
would
pair
be
with
great with
Amberana.
a.
Wow.
You know what this would be good with? I think a blood medicine.
Oh yeah, there you go. That would work.
There you go.
That one's got
Yeah.
a little bit more spice on it. Would
Yeah.
go really good with this creaminess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
surprisingly, the black pepper I just don't think goes. It just doesn't
Yeah, I think you're right.
really work with it.
I'm not going to stop though.
Well, I
No,
guess- I
I'm
guess
still
we'll-
gonna. Yeah, I'm going to continue to
Yeah.
drink this until there is no
Yeah, I'm
more
gonna
left
keep doing
in the
that.
glass. Yep.
Yeah, this one's good.
That's
Yeah.
solid though. I'm happy with that. I like that.
And that lower proof, you can chug the hell out of.
I'm
it.
Yeah,
glad
it's all
that
proof,
I am glad that we poured it before the larceny.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah,
the
I
Larson
think
would
it-
kill this.
Larsen's
Yeah.
probably gonna blow it out.
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yep.
So 124 on the Larceny and 129 and a half on the Jack. So yeah, we're definitely
God,
ramping up
man,
there.
you know, I'm excited to try the Larceny just because, man, they've been hitting home run after home run
They
after
Yes,
home
they
run.
have.
Last 2
And
years.
Their single barrel program now. I
Yep.
mean, I've tasted the one from Rural Inn, and I know there's a couple others that are hitting around, and like, man, I haven't had a bad one. They're all good, and the single barrels are different. Like some of them are a little off profile. They're not quite as spicy, but you don't get the blast of heat like the one from Rural Inn has got a nice like strawberry note to it that I just think is like cool. Like get strawberry out of Larceny, like
Yeah.
I just
Wow.
think that's crazy.
Well, they took. I mean, what I love about it is they took the Maker's Mark, Bernheim, other wheat perception, and just said, "Kiss our ass.
Dumped
We're going
it
to do
on our-
something
dumped it
completely
on his
different."
head. Yeah.
and then made you had to completely rethink Weeders,
yeah.
and I think that's just fantastic.
So did you see the TTB label approval for Elijah Craig? It was it made it look like it was going to be like a bottle your own experience at Heaven Hill.
Oh, okay.
Because it had like kind of like the Michter's label
I haven't
where it had
seen
the
that,
name
yeah.
on it. It just said like John Doe and then it had a date. So it like the label looks like it's going to be like a bottle your own experience at Heaven Hill. So
That would be cool.
I want to find out more about that because
'Cause
I
they've
know
had the
most of those
bottle
are
your-
pretty pricey when you end up doing that bottle your own. It's usually like 130, 140.
Yeah, but you're paying for an experience along with
yeah,
the
then you get your name on a
bourbon.
bottle.
Yeah.
I see. Shout out to Thomas Anderson out there.
Yeah,
He's,
4 Roses single barrel.
Yeah.
OESO.
OESO 9-year.
There you go.
You know,
That'd be a solid
that's
pour.
a good call. I never got my Four Roses single barrels in. They never shipped them to me.
I honestly
Bastards.
forgot that. You
I forgot that you
I
ordered.
forgot I ordered
Yeah.
them too. I guess that was how much I like Four
Oh
Roses.
my God, the nose on this is fucking amazing.
Oh man. Okay, I gotta get.
I'm gonna keep quiet till you get to nose it.
Oh.
So I don't want to put anything in your head. Holy shit.
I'm gonna hate it.
Wowza.
It's got a
Wowza,
little bit.
wowza.
It's got a little bit of that dustiness, which I always get in Weeders.
Oh man.
It almost smells like the Heaven Hill Rick House.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Wait
You
till,
said that
wait
one.
till you guys taste this.
Get a
Son
hint
of
of
a
the Heaven Hill
crap.
Rick House in that.
Holy smokes.
I'm going to say this right now. This might be the best
That
larceny I've ever
motherfucker's
had.
good.
No,
Excuse
kidding?
my language.
That's a bold statement
Yeah,
right there.
Dude, wait.
Dude,
just wait.
dude. That is.
Holy
I've got like a
cow.
shit-eating grin on my face right now.
I
from
know, me too.
tasting
Me
that.
too.
Oh man.
Yep.
This is it's gross.
It's good. You guys are dumb. Your palates are whack.
Yeah. Is this?
Oh.
Oh, wait till
Hey,
it
it's
hits
getting a
that
little fatty. A little.
Oh,
top. Wait till it hits your
Oh,
Meaty
dude,
fat.
this is awesome with that cigar.
Yep.
I'm buying this bottle.
I need to find.
I gotta
Yeah,
find
if you guys are at Meyer, please pick me one up and I'll pay
yeah.
you back.
They had.
Did you go to
I don't know,
Anderson?
8 or 10. Yeah, and Anderson.
I've seen people post pictures
Holy
of a bunch of
shit.
them in stock,
Yeah,
and they're probably only putting a case on the shelf at any time.
probably.
I almost get
yeah.
a smoky nose.
It is. It's absolutely that smoky pork fat kind of thing going on. Pork belly, not
Am
really.
I wrong? Is this might be the best larceny barrel pick they've had in the last couple of years?
Okay.
Or not
I'm-
barrel
I'm
pick,
just
but-
gonna say,
It's
like,
definitely the best one this year.
A120.
It-
Yeah. Well, yeah.
it
Good call,
reminds
Mike.
me of the Rural Inn single barrel a lot. Like it's.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't you bring that? Didn't we do that taste?
did that.
Did we? we
Yeah,
tasted it
yeah,
on the show.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
But it's better. I hate to say it. It's better.
I always need you guys to tell me what I've drank. I have no clue.
You've had that one.
Okay, good, good.
You liked it.
Man. Ah,
That was one thing Isaiah used to do the most.
Oh,
He's
what
like,
was the?
we try and
We
what
already
was the
did that,
Mary and
Rob.
Eve's one that Mike was talking about? And I'm like, hey, we drank that like 3 episodes.
yeah, yeah.
And then the Bard's
forbidden-
down.
Wasn't that
we-
down in Orange Beach?
Yeah, it
or
was,
he's
yeah,
like,
it was
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, it was the forbidden one. And we did that whole
Wow.
podcast, and Will didn't go with us. And then we get home, and Will's like, "Yeah, we've had that many times."
We did all of that on the
We had that,
podcast like a month
3
ago.
episodes ago. Yeah,
But in our defense, we had buckets of liquor
I know,
before we went
Before
there.
we filled.
That's true.
literal
like
buckets
literal,
of liquor.
like sand pail buckets of alcohol.
Yes.
We need to do
This
that
is
again.
this is great.
Oh man, this is really good.
That heat just stays all the way through. Not aggressive.
No, I know
But
exactly
you get
what you
on
mean.
the on the tongue all the way down.
Yeah.
The warm hug. Oh my God.
Oh, I figured out the problem. I've got a little crack. That's why.
Uh,
But it's starting to smoke better.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, that's where the problem was.
yeah, mine
see it
So-
now.
improved quite a bit.
so that's a good call. We'll talk a little bit about cigars. So if you get a little crack, which I wouldn't do it on that one yet because it's going sideways.
You
But
lick
if you
the
get
crack,
a, if
or-
you get a, you don't lick the
get
crack. You cauterize the crack.
Okay.
You just
Mike's
cauterize
wanted
it.
to lick the crack. Mike's telling me to lick the crack.
Lick the crack.
I don't know. A lot of the kids nowadays seem to enjoy licking the crack. I
Yeah,
don't know
whatever,
what's up
whatever
with
it
that,
takes.
but
Whatever it
anyways.
takes.
Just don't squeeze it.
All right.
We're talking about cigars.
So cauterize it?
Yeah. So you just kind of cauterize it towards the actual head of the cigar where you're actually puffing
Yeah.
from, and
The top of it, not the bottom of it,
Yes,
right.
it will.
Otherwise
It will
it'll rub.
stop it from cracking all the way up the cigar, and then you can smoke right past it, and then usually it doesn't go any further.
All right, we'll see. I don't want to.
Yeah, with that
say
one
don't
being
use
sideways, I
overhead
don't know if you
lighter
need
for
to do
sure.
too much, but you're also only about an inch from the crack, so
The retro with this bourbon.
smoke it.
Finger on it.
It's perfect.
It's so good.
Yeah, yeah. As much as I like this one with it, this one intensifies the sweetness. This one intensifies the spice and the strength of the bourbon.
Yeah.
You're getting more of the heat because of the cigar.
I
and
get
like
so
that.
much more oak out of it.
Mike's using his finger to get a drop.
It does have, yeah, a lot of
I'm getting
of-
I
so
get
much of the
like
oak out of
a
it.
lovely but there's like fruit. I get cinnamon. I get baking spice on the nose.
What they have on
I
here.
got so many things going on with
I
it.
mean,
like,
too. Mike's getting a little bit of finger sweat in his
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
I put a couple drops of water in there. I wanted to see what
That's
happened
very
since
good.
it's high
I
proof.
think I could open it
But-
up a little bit.
Did
yeah.
it? Okay.
And the cool thing is, I can still tell that it's a weeded bourbon. Like,
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good mouthfeel to it.
That's one thing that's been nice about
Didn't change it a whole lot.
about all of us being friends and hanging out and sharing bourbons. I was never a weeder guy, and I've become a weeder guy.
Yeah, in the
Not
last
that I'm
year.
hunting them, but there's certain ones that I fall in love with.
Yeah. Yeah, we just don't turn them away anymore. I mean, it's.
That's a
I
good.
think it's developed a lot over the last couple of years. in
Yeah,
the
and
way
that's a
that
good
we cigar.
segue too. So, I'll figure out the date before we get done with the show. But Dirk just sent me a text. They're getting ready to do their Old 55 event coming up, I believe, in May. So what they do is they go out there. They'll have all these allocated bottles you can bid on. You win them, you pay for it. Yeah, you're going to pay more than what you probably should, but all the money goes towards Dirk's cause. All these bottles have been donated to him. Everything goes directly to End of Watch Legacy Fund. And he's got some William LaRue's, he's got some George T. Staggs. He's got a lot of great stuff this year.
That'll be-
So I am so excited about going up there, but my wallet is not really excited
Right.
right now.
April 19th from 12 to 4.
Oh, April. Oh,
April
shit.
19th.
I didn't know it was that. Okay, it's coming up
Yeah,
quick.
so next month, third
So-
consecutive.
And
so-
just
So
a
that's-
reminder, the Underwatch Legacy Fund supports families of fallen officers.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they get a check. No,
No strings attached.
restrictions. Nothing.
And I will
just-
say
yeah.
this is the event that raises the most money for the cause. They do this specifically with Jason up there. Jason always does something
yeah,
special.
shout
He-
out to
he's the
Jason
base-
and
yes.
55. They really support
They
this
really
charity,
do.
And,
And
it's-
I will say probably 75% of the people that come to that event are police officers, but everyone's invited. So if you want to come up there, just go up to Newtown, Indiana. You're going to have a great time. They always have someone out there with some smoked meats and different food to try. You get to do that. We're going to have a booth set up, so we'll have some stuff out there. If you want to have a cigar, they always have an area where you can buy a cigar from us and go out there and smoke it. It's a really, really good time. You guys were out there last year.
That was a Chris Gordon
Yeah.
seal of approval.
Chris Gordon walks by and goes,
yeah, we were out there. I got
Sorry
to
to
see
cut
if
you
we
off,
have time to go this year.
If you
again.
guys can go again, it was a great time. I think you guys sold quite a few things
we
too.
did pretty good actually.
I mean, police officers, they're all about their dogs too. So
His sister bought some stuff from us. April 19th, I have no games that day, so maybe we'll go
12 to 4.
12 to 4.
Yeah,
yeah, I,
12
I
to 4,
bet
it's a great
on,
time.
A Straight from the Barrel last year. Mike picked that up
Yeah,
for me.
I
Yeah,
got a couple
yeah.
couldn't
things.
make it,
We got
but-
that. We got Dr. J got a Elijah Craig barrel pick.
Yep. I've been on probably
got a couple
8 or 10
things.
different ones. I ended up winning Elmer T.
Got
Lee.
an Elmer T. Lee.
Yep,
The
yep.
little book. That was one for you, wasn't it? Somebody
Or
got a
no,
little
Somebody
book.
got a little book.
Or a Booker's maybe.
Book-
I can't
okay,
remember.
yeah,
It was
the
the Booker's.
24.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
24. Yeah, that one was
It's
still
a lot of-
20
lot of
under
great
MSRP.
stuff, yeah.
So some
Yeah.
of just you got to go and see it because some things people don't bid on and like they still got to go. Like he's going to take them back and donate
this
them for
might
next
be a
time.
good
so.
one to go to because everyone's going to vote. Or going to be bidding on William LaRue and all the ones that are really hard to get. There's going to be some other bottles that people aren't bidding on because they don't want to spend that much
Right.
money. You might be able to get
And it's
a
things
larceny
like the
barrel
Larceny
proof for
or the
$50
Wood Hat or
yeah.
maybe some old 55 things. Like
Yep.
there's a lot of things
Yeah.
out there that are not like in the big six. that
Well, and
he's
also
gonna bring.
whatever pick that Dirk did with Jason will be available to buy there.
Yeah.
So you can buy that pick as well, which I tend to usually buy it and then we crack it behind the table.
Is
and
he
have a
sold
few
out of
pours.
his newest release?
The
You might
Jack?
be able to get some of those there. No, not the
Oh.
old 55.
You know what? I don't know. You talking about the sweet corn one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that released what six months ago.
I mean, so right now the only retailer that has a sweet corn barrel pick that's cast strength is Fresh Market. Is it no? Market
Fresh.
District. Sorry,
Market
Market
District.
District and
Yeah,
Carmel.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They still have sweet corn cast strength available, and from what I understand, it's on sale right now at $275. And
Oh, damn.
I know that's a high price,
It
but
is.
that normally
But considering
retails
what
for
it was.
$299.
Well,
So
and he was releasing that at the distillery for $325.
yeah, so
that's
if
not a
you
bad
want
price.
to try a exceptional sweet corn bourbon at cast strength,
Yeah.
go to Market District because they're going to have it. But it sits a little longer because it's a higher price point.
Yeah.
But again, sweet corn, they don't plant a lot of it. It's a pain in the ass to deal with. It's a pain in the ass to harvest it because they lose a lot to deer and birds and every other critter that likes to eat sweet corn. So
The loss is insane. Yeah.
This just in, Cocky Wolverine says to buy the sweet corn from Market District. They're now sold out.
Yes.
You heard it
we
here
hope
first.
we hope we have that power, right?
Yeah.
So actually, next time we have a podcast where we're all on it, I'll bring the last of the original sweet corn release they had. Still the best one they've ever had.
Different than
You loved that. I
Yeah.
remember
Oh my God,
you
it is
just
so
yeah.
freaking delicious. I'll bring the rest of that in and we'll kill it off.
Yeah, I don't
one
know if
day.
I ever had the first relece of that.
Oh, I think you have. You've had
Have
to
I?
have it with me. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
That was 3 episodes ago.
No, he wasn't here then.
That's when, yeah.
So I had 2 bottles of Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond here recently that I was down to like basically nothing left in them and just poured them both into the glass to get 2 bottles off the shelf. I
Was
don't
it a
know, it's-
margarita glass? Like dump 2
Right,
bottles
no,
in?
it wasn't that big. It was just, a little rocks glass.
Yeah,
I tend to drink out of rocks glasses a lot at home. And I just noticed, like, it's just it had lost a little bit.
Really?
So
I've
it's
never
kind of
noticed
one of
that.
those things where I'm starting to kind of get to the point where I'm like, man, once I get down to like a quarter of a bottle, I know lots of guys are
That could be
doing
part of it.
infinity or something, but I'm kind of like, it's got to go.
You got to kill it. Yeah.
You have to kill it. It's,
get a lot of
I've been paying
oxidation.
more attention. So I had that one of those Jim Beam, 1970s, and I don't have much left, and
Yeah.
it completely turned. Like it
Oh,
went.
really?
Now, admittedly, I mean it's a 50-year-old whiskey, right? So
Yeah, I mean, that was good.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
disappointing that it turned. I mean, it looks like
Well, I
like
think-
shit now.
I
Mud,
think Dusties are,
They're more
very
susceptible.
to that.
But you remember we
Once
saw
they
the
hit the
Russell's
altitude.
I was
15.
gonna say,
Turn-
we did the
where
Russell's
it-
15.
it's not that it turns like it's not that it goes all the way bad,
No.
right? I think the old Dusties go all the way bad, but I do think that
You
lots of times
lose-
you go back and you lose some
you
stuff.
lose what
do.
makes it great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the more
Yeah.
bright flavors kind of tend to just dissipate and go away. I'm now to the point where I'm like, okay, if I'm getting past that halfway point, then I better just focus and drink this bottle over the next
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah.
right? And just
To
get
enjoy
it
it for
gone
what it
because
was, yeah.
otherwise it's not going to be the same thing. If I come back to it and it's 6 months later, I'm going to be bitterly disappointed.
Yeah.
And until we had that happen with like some of the Dusty stuff and the Russell's Reserve 15, I had never really put any thought into that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of changed my drinking habits a little bit in terms of trying to keep a bottle because I'm
Kill a
like,
bottle.
oh,
Oh, so you're
I'd
just
love
gonna
to just
drink it
have it.
faster?
I'm just going to focus on drinking that one instead of something else.
I
right?
wonder if using like the wine, whatever that wine thing's
Vacuum
called,
sealer.
where you vacuum, pull out. I wonder if that would help
Air
whiskey
extract.
as well.
I almost want to buy like a series of, 375 size bottles or something.
Yeah.
And
Just
transfer it.
Yeah.
Just transfer it so it's
Get all the air
Doesn't
out.
have the air
exactly.
out,
Yeah, I don't have to vacuum it. I'll just write on the bottle what it is, and if it's something I want to
Yeah.
keep, then I just transfer it to a
that
smaller
would be
bottle.
that'd be a great business thing to do is to start doing 375 decanters.
Right? Yeah. Just
You get down
decant
to
it
half your
and
bottle, decant the rest of it, and then you can just sip on it.
Well,
That-
I
that's
wish,
just not a
I
bad
I
idea.
wish they would. I wish distilleries would sell more 375s of
Yeah.
higher end stuff because the cool thing is, you have a smaller version of it. A lot of people just want it to taste. They
taste,
don't want
yeah.
to buy a
Yeah.
full 750 or 700.
Yeah.
It's a cost thing, right?
Yeah,
It is.
it does.
Just don't
it's
charge the
labor.
same price for them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just going to have to charge $10 more a bottle, right? I mean,
That's the thing.
is-
Most of the 375s that come out are like super high end stuff.
Yeah.
It's
We'll just
$300
have
bucks for
Will
a 375.
Buy
Yeah.
full bottles, and then we'll go in half with them and
There you go.
375 it out.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So You do all the legwork, and then we'll
Yeah.
just,
Actually, one of the well, I'm not going to tell you the member. I've got I'm going to bring out some of that stuff for the members, for a members only event.
Oh, that's fine. Say it,
I'll bring some of
because-
that stuff because we're gonna. I've got several of those bottles of the 1950s Jim Beam back there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let people get a chance to try something.
Yeah.
It's you're tasting history.
Oh, that'll be a great members event.
I think so.
Thing that we
Yeah.
can do. Yeah.
so,
So-
see if you were on the fence about being a member.
Yeah.
There's one perk so far.
Well, and I will say, after we
Or
get through this
this
year,
episode.
I would like to talk
Not so
about that
far.
at the end of the year, how the members, how it actually went for all, not me, but for you guys that are members. I would like to talk about that a little bit and see what we can do better the next year. Obviously, it's going to hopefully get better every year, but
That's
also
first
what
year,
was good about it.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk about that a little bit more when we get down to that rate.
I'd
down
like a
to the
robe
level.
and a sauna. We could,
What's that?
We could put a sauna in the back and
That'd be awesome. wouldn't
Asian
it?
massage.
sweatshop.
I was gonna say, can I get a little rub and tug?
I don't know about the tug, but you know.
He wasn't opposed to the rub part, though.
It was 50-50 there.
Yeah.
You
But I
gotta
guess
shoot
if you're
your
going to
shot.
stuck doing one, I would go with the rub versus the tug.
It's
Almost
very
spit my
membersy.
whiskey out on the board.
Oh,
Wow.
Before we leave the larceny, I will say
Yes.
like I do get like mid palate on it. Like I do get a little bit of a herbal,
Yeah.
like I want to say grassy because it's not grassy. It's not grass. It's the wheat. Like it's the wheat kind of coming through, which it's just really really subtle though, and I like that it's there because it's like I
The
can tell this is a
heliotrope.
wheater.
Is it
right?
almost? It's almost like some of the botanicals that they'll do with
Yeah.
gin or absinthe.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just barely there. Like it's
Yeah, just
yeah.
very very light.
It's
This
cool.
is really good.
Yeah.
God.
So what? I'm
I'll
trying
have
to
to get some of
remember
this for the
which one
bar.
I preferred last year, whether it was the A124 or the B5.
It was a B524.
Was it the B5?
The B was-
Yeah,
the
because
B
we
was
drank
for
the
me,
hell out of it at the
At
track.
Harris.
Yeah,
I like B
Harris.
better than A. They were both
Yeah.
good, but I
The B,
preferred B.
yeah,
Yes.
the B was
The
The
crushing it
profile on
'cause-
B was way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out Gene for hooking us up with that at the
Which
bar
was
there.
funny
yeah.
because when Minnick tasted him, he was like, A is phenomenal, B don't buy. And I'm like, and I
okay
said
to be
that,
wrong.
and then I went and tasted B, and I'm like, ah man, I screwed up. Like B's actually really freaking good in my opinion.
Don't
and-
question your ascot overlords.
Yeah, right. But, hey, on that one, hey, I'll tell him, man. If I disagree, I disagreed with him on Parker's Heritage Double Oaked. He's like, it's terrible. It's over oaked. I'm like, bro, you need to go back and try that. Like, I think you had a bad day. Like, I know you're not super. He didn't like oak and stuff, but like, that one was special bottle.
What would you have to
Yeah.
eat that day? Oh, wood chips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was over oaked.
yeah,
My
right.
wood plank salmon really threw it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
What are you looking up over there, Rob?
Oh, I'm putting some shit in my cart to buy.
Rob's
they,
over here
uh,
shopping.
Did they update the label, the wrap around the bottle?
Yeah,
Is
they
that-
did.
that's-
That's a new-
yeah,
they
I
did,
thought
yeah,
so.
new
It's new
packaging,
packaging
yeah.
altogether, except for
Yeah,
the
because
the
it used to
glass.
be you had to pay real close attention to know which one was the barrel proof because they
Yeah.
were really, really close. It just said barrel proof on the front.
They did that with C924. They
Yeah.
changed
Okay.
the packaging.
I
The
couldn't
label,
remember
yeah.
C924. Yeah.
It's subtly different. It's like the copper on it is brighter,
Yeah.
but then like
Yeah.
the
Add the
actual
card.
artwork is a little different too.
Yeah, well,
so-
I can see the larceny, like the regular larceny over
Yep.
there, and it's black.
Yeah, that's
Right,
the B.
and
That's
this
the B. The B524.
Oh, that
what we
is
have.
that's still the barrel
But
proof.
that's the old.
Okay, but that's
old
the
version.
old,
That's
yeah.
last year's,
And
yeah.
it looked very much like the original. I think maybe they did have, maybe the bottom there they still had it as copper.
Yeah.
I can't remember,
I
but
feel
now
like
putting it
the
on the
barrel
top.
proof stands out more now on
It
these,
does.
so you can.
Well, it
That gold
reminded me-
really pops.
Yeah.
It reminded me of those pirate bottles, the Elijah Craig's that are that like old,
Yeah.
the old shape
Yeah.
pirate
Yeah.
pirate bottles they call them. Those were really cool. They
Well,
saw those at Frankfurt Avenue.
Right, right.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
a shit
other
ton of those.
bottles that have changed their labels, Crown Royal has too.
Oh, great.
Not that anyone cares.
I care.
But we
Really?
Do. Yeah.
Dr. J cares.
Crown Royal changed
The
their
basic,
label.
Yeah. They call it something else. It's like it's the same stuff. They're just trying to.
It's called
hit
Dr.
another
J's
market.
Elixir.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, there's no cinnamon. No cinnamon.
Did they really need to? I
God,
mean,
no.
people that drink Crown Royal, they,
Well, they change
drink
it
the
all the
hell
time.
out of
You're
it.
throwing it in a
Peach,
purple
maple.
bag. Just
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah. So I'm joined all these like home bar Facebook groups, right? Because trying to do this build out and get ideas. And somebody had got old bar stools that some bar was redoing all their furniture, and they got them for like, I mean, I think they got like 10 bar stools for $50 or something, right?
Yeah.
Which great deal. Mechanically, they were fine.
Yeah.
But all the material on them was all jacked up.
Yeah.
And so the guy was a Crown Royal drinker and had all those bags, saved them, and his wife like sewed them all together
Nice.
and made like slip covers.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
actually kinda
it
cool.
looked pretty awesome. I was like, okay, well, I don't really drink Crown Royal, but
No.
it is a cool idea.
Yeah,
Back in
that's
my
actually
like
cool.
car days, people would do that with like the shifter boots. They would
Yeah.
use that for the
Oh yeah,
Headrests.
yeah.
Yeah.
They'd wrap the headrests. in
Headrests,
them. I had a
yeah.
friend that's grandma made him a quilt out of them before she found out what the actual bags were.
Oh, she didn't know it was
And
liquor.
she wasn't happy about it afterwards.
Wait, you
She
had
found out it was
you had
alcohol.
50 bags?
It's like when
How much do you drink?
my great grandmother used to buy us FUBU clothes for Christmas.
Oh
She
man,
didn't know what it was.
Yep.
that's funny.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
grandparents had bags of the Crown Royal bags, and they
Yeah.
would put screws and
Yeah.
bolts and
It's great.
whatever, you know,
If it's like you
whatever
could
they
put your
had,
gold
Yeah.
coins in there.
coins. They would.
I have a Crown Royal rack in my garage
There you go.
that has a giant bag on the top of it that's like 2 foot tall and probably about 2 foot wide and at least a foot tall. And the only downfall is where I had it in my garage, the one side on the back of it where the sun was hitting it, faded that
Yeah.
side.
No, the only
Maybe.
downside is you had a big bag of Crown Royal.
Right, right.
No, it was the top to the
I
shelf.
know, I know.
But I could easily take that off, stuff it, and make a pillow out of it.
I do think
you
it's
go.
kind of funny how like the old Dusties that the bottles that you got, and it's these people that they barely ever drink. They
Yeah.
had like the same 6 bottles in their liquor cabinet for 50 years, and
Yeah.
they died. And it's like, oh, there's
It's like they
50-year-old
were
booze in
space
here.
fillers. They weren't.
Yeah,
no
it was
one
like, why,
cares.
why did you even buy it? Like, you don't drink, but you had 6
we
or
bought a
7
liquor
bottles.
cabinet and we needed to fill the space.
But
Right,
going
right.
back to
It
that,
just
that like Stitzel, the original Stitzel Weller time, those things during like after Prohibition, they had juice that was left over. They had to do something with. That's when all the decanters started.
Yeah.
And like when they
Yeah,
were selling
yeah.
them, they were $15-$20. So like everyone was buying them because they look cool. They were collectibles.
Yeah.
But nobody was opening them. Nobody was drinking those. And if
That
they
was
were,
just
it was
some,
going.
That
like,
was
the
just
same
a
day.
collector.
Yeah, so,
People
like-
they were trying to find a way to get people excited about bourbon again.
And $20 in the '60s was a lot for a
Oh, yeah.
whiskey. So like.
Yeah.
But then they sat around and like people would just keep buying them because every time they do what we do now. Every time you go to the store, you buy another bottle and
Yeah.
it'd sit on the shelf, and then all of a sudden your grandparents pass, and now you got all these really cool whiskey bottles that are clowns and houses and cars and
Yeah.
The
cool
Jack
for us.
Bar.
Yeah.
Okay, I
pretty
got
cool.
I just kind of slugged the last little bit of that. I almost got a little bit of a salted caramel,
Okay.
Okay.
which was nice.
Man, there's a lot going on.
There is.
really
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
Yeah, like a
very
mineral
complex.
salt, a very minerally type salt, and but a
Tell you,
salted
this
caramel.
has been a hell of a good pours already.
yeah,
we haven't had anything.
we haven't even got the
We've had
Jack
great
lineup today.
Whiskey so far.
really good
We
lineup.
got 2 special Chattanooga picks up here, which we'll talk about a little bit more. Will talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
going to do the rye, or are we going to go to the Chattanoogas? What should we do?
Well, they are rise. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Go to
rice
the-
too.
the
I,
rye.
I
Oh,
would
they're
say,
rice.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so we
I
can
would
just
say
go
we'll
with
go
the Jack.
next,
Yeah, go to the Jack.
you haven't cracked the
Nope,
Jack yet, have
nope.
you?
Somebody got a knife?
I'm kind of
Whatever.
anxious to see. I got a knife if you don't have one. Oh, Mike's got fingernails.
He's not even cutting that
Don't cut
out.
yourself.
He just like use the outside of the knife.
Cut away from the body.
See, I wanted that to be a switchblade where you push a button and it pops out and he's holding it like this. Oh!
Heine gives you a knife, it'll probably cut your finger off.
Yes,
Yeah,
it probably
probably
will.
will.
I would
Yeah.
be careful.
That's my work knife, so probably not.
There you go. We'll just hand that to you.
So
Yeah, I need-
we
don't
got
make
to
it
talk
nice.
about Heine over here, Mr.
fuck
Chili
yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
this
So
dude-
chili cook-off yesterday.
Yeah,
a lot of
get your thing out, buddy.
Hey Lisa.
Not your thing out, but your thing out. Yeah.
Heine
Hey,
was gonna.
There he is.
look at that.
I suggested Heine wear it naked, but he had
I don't know why I
insisted
put
he
it
wear
back on.
clothes.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa
can
was
we
supposed to send us
get
pictures
chili
last night of
going?
him wearing only that, but she never did.
Hey, what happens at my
Choo-choo.
house stays at my house.
Just be thankful you're not wearing a crown on your head right now. I considered it.
Oh, actually,
man.
Actually, I
You should
did
wear
too.
it.
I
I
almost
was-
thought about.
I thought about it the morning of. I'm like, God, I don't have time to go get a freaking crown now.
We were going to stop at Burger King and grab one,
You should have. Gosh,
but I was half tempted to grab one of my daughter's tiaras from her princessing
that'd
job.
have been fine. That'd been fine.
So we had 4 at the inaugural Final Third Chili Cook-Off. We had 4 distinctively different chilies, but all very good.
All of them were delicious.
Yeah.
All what you would consider chili as
Yes.
well, because sometimes you get a chili cook-off
You get
and
some
somebody
funky
goes
stuff.
they're like, oh, I'm going to do something really crazy, and it's like, okay, yeah, I get it that you're calling it chili. It's
Yeah.
not. These were all
These were
chili.
traditional. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been to chili cook-offs before, and sometimes you'll go and let's say there's 10 in or 12 in. There's 4 good ones. The rest of them are kind of in the ether. All these were. I would have been mad about picking
Oh,
any one of them. They
yeah.
were all really
Well, I-
good.
I
all
But it
very
was,
different.
what was it, like 2 vote difference between 2 or 3 vote difference between all
two
of them?
votes
like
from
total?
1
Yeah.
to 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it was actually Will was up 2 votes, and we had one person come in at like
At
10 minutes till.
5:59.
Yeah.
She literally walked in at 5:59.
Was that what it was? Okay.
And wanted to participate.
And she wanted to try, and she voted for one of the other ones. So otherwise, it would have been him winning by 2, and everybody else were tied.
Yo,
That's how close
Wow.
it was.
damn.
Man.
It was actually really close. And honestly, there wasn't a single one of those. They were all made completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they all were fantastic.
I gotta say,
I eat more
I
chili.
kind of really want to put 2 different beans in mine now. I really enjoyed that. Like Brandon's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
was
that too. That white, the little
The
white beans were
the white beans with the
great.
red beans.
I'm
Yeah.
going to participate next year, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you my recipe because I told them already.
Wendy's.
Nope, it's
Nope.
just going to be all unpeeled tomatoes, and I'm not going to like mash them or anything. It's just going to be boiled,
Gonna cook
unpeeled
it
tomatoes.
for 2 days.
Yeah, no meat, just
The vegetarian
tomatoes.
special.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
So congratulations,
Yeah,
buddy.
congrats.
Well, it's funny because
Yeah, it was really good.
I honestly think that all of us voted for each other.
You did. All 4 of you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I voted for 3.
Yep.
Which was
Brandon's.
Brandon.
I
And
voted-
Brandon voted for you.
Oh.
And you guys voted for
I
each
voted
other.
for
each
Will.
other.
Okay,
Yeah,
I voted for
perfect.
Will.
So that's what cracked me up when Will came up. He's like, "Oh man, I ended up voting for you because of this," and I was like, "Well, fuck, I voted for you
And-
because of this."
And,
then
the funny thing I learned yesterday from that was that everyone's palate's so different in how they taste chili. Because when I tasted Will's, I got this like amazing savory note that I just loved. But
Yeah, me
then
too.
when I talked to other people, they're like, "Oh, you liked it because it was sweeter," and I'm like, "I didn't get sweetness on
sweet in
Will's,
there.
but a
No.
lot of people did." And then with Scott's, I got now, and I'll say it, I love it, but it was definitely that Chipotle,
Chipotle,
Yep.
Yeah.
hits you in the back of the throat heat
Yep.
that was there. And then my wife, who does not like spicy, said yours was great and she loved yours. And it's like, I got no heat on it. And I'm like,
What
this
in
is
the, how in the
bizarro
world?
and you had like 20 chilies.
I
in yours.
did. Yeah. I mean, I like
habanero
every
in mine,
chili that is on
and
the
nobody's
planet.
like, "Oh, yours wasn't spicy at
No,
all."
I
was
didn't
like,
think
"I
yours was
have habaneros
spicy."
in there.
I'm like, it's crazy. But
Yeah,
it
I
just
thought
goes to
Brandon and
show.
I had the spiciest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, I can't believe Becky didn't find any spice
and
in
she
mine
told
at all.
you that last
she
night at the
did, and it
game,
was like,
yeah.
wow, okay. That's,
We're all broken.
But
just
that
in
was
different
fun.
ways.
yeah.
So,
So who did you guys use any bourbon in yours?
I did not.
I was afraid to because I didn't want
Okay.
it to clash if somebody was already drinking.
Brandon
So Brandon
did, I
used a
think.
little bourbon
Brandon
in
used a little
his.
bit,
Okay,
yes, I
okay.
think.
not George T. Stack.
It was not George T. Okay.
That was
He had the bottle out by it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's some bitch put George T. Stagg in it.
cheater.
He's trying to
So-
copy somebody's bourbon
Okay.
ball recipe.
All right, let's talk about this Jack.
This nose.
So this one, not on the nose, but on the palate, it has a little bit more banana than what ours
oh,
does.
it's banana. It's banana, baby.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Like
The
it's
nose
what I
to
Which
me-
I like the banana a lot.
The nose on this one to me is like cotton candy, though.
Okay.
But I get the banana on the palate.
Are you getting a
Yeah.
hint of the medicinal that sometimes comes through?
A
I
little bit.
feel like I'm just getting on the nose. It's definitely banana on the palate. I feel like on the nose I'm getting just the slightest little bit of kind of medicinal.
I'm almost getting like
Yeah.
a whipped cream. Like
I get a banana cream note on the
Banana
like
cream,
with Will on the
yeah.
nose, but then when I taste it it goes from banana to a peppermint. Like
Oh, yeah.
transitions. Like it's really.
I'm getting
cool.
that kind of banana runt kind of note in the palate.
It's apple, dumbass.
Apple.
This tastes like printer paper.
That's good. That's
I'm
another
almost
good
getting
pick.
I'm almost getting banana bread without the nuts.
That's on profile. Jack
That's actually
Daniel's
pretty
right.
good,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like what I expect.
That's pretty good.
God
That's a
damn.
good
This is
pick.
129
I could
and a half
nose
proof.
this. Like,
Which is
Yeah.
right where ours is. Ours
Yeah.
is 129.8.
Yeah, that's
Love
crazy.
the nose on it, man.
I'll tell you, I feel like these Jack Daniel Rye single barrels, just like the Old Forester single
just killing
barrels.
it.
You just, if you see one and you haven't had it, buy it.
Yeah.
Like you can just buy it and you'll be happy.
I kind of feel like the whiskey lovers out there have actually transitioned.
That
Cursive
word?
already. Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
God damn.
Transitioned.
Transitioned
They cr-
from
transitioned.
actually loving the single barrel whiskey to loving the single barrel ryes.
I think that
I
the
feel
rye
like it-
has been
I feel
consistently
like it's.
growing.
I feel like once they
I mean-
started doing that, it actually changed their game.
And
don't- I
Brown
don't think-
Foreman's crushing it.
Yeah.
They
Between
really are.
these and between the Old Forester single barrel ryes, they're
Woodford's also
not a bad. You're not going to go wrong.
Woodford's also a brown farmer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I first started with the ryes, I thought they were a little too hot. That was
Yeah.
always in the back of my head that ryes are just too much. And then the more my
Love that
palate's
spice.
developed
Yeah.
and stuff like that, either the ryes have tamed down and became a broader flavors profile and not just full on spice and harsh.
I don't think it's as much about your palate. I think that ryes have
I almost feel like
actually
they've-
morphed into something
Yeah.
new.
I almost
'Cause
feel like they've evolved.
the ryes used to be so heavy rye forward. The spice was the prominent note, which is what they were going for.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the High West stuff. Some of those High West.
Well,
the
we were
ryes
getting all 95.5 MGP, right?
100%,
That's going to be
yes.
that's his thing.
It's the
and-
rye spice, yeah.
It's definitely there, but
But
these
once
are,
people do their own stuff,
Well, how
These
much
are-
do you think? So rye has not been one of those grains that I would view as prominently grown, right? I mean, there's some specific use cases for rye breads and things like that. But
Beer,
you know,
yeah.
beer,
You get some
yeah,
rye
some of
beers,
the
yeah.
some of the
Yeah.
rye beers, but rye was not a big time type of grain that you would get, and
Yeah.
I wonder if the grain quality has improved as rye has become more popular. If they're spending a little bit more time, or they're
Well,
evaluating
again-
it better.
Again, going 95.5, you're talking 95% rye.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But it only has to be 51% rye to be a rye whiskey.
Well, and you think about U.S. history, like rye was our national spirit before
Yes.
bourbon. Like,
Yes, it
It
was.
was 100% rye. Like everyone grew rye. Pennsylvania is where it originated. In the colonies, everyone grew
Pennsylvania,
rye.
New York.
George Washington grew and distilled rye. Like,
Yeah.
It was rye whiskey. It wasn't bourbon. And
And weed.
No, man, he had fields of hemp. He had fields of that stuff, man. I'm telling you,
George.
yeah.
cheers
and
to
Martha
George.
was a
Cheers to
hip-
George
cheers to
Washington.
George,
Cheers
my
to
man.
our number
George.
one president.
Yes.
That's right.
Shout out, Prez.
The original OG.
Yeah.
Number one in presidents and number one in your heart.
I would have
Yes.
voted for you, buddy.
I would have voted.
Was he the
Give me
wooden
a
teeth
quarter
one?
of your rye.
Was there a vote back then?
Yeah,
You had to be
just
had to be a landowner.
yeah. What a guy.
Yeah, and I think the president wasn't. I think the president was the electoral college came later, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just made up of
Congress.
him.
It was Congress that voted.
And then
Yeah.
he made a bad move where he taxed the shit out of rye, and then we had the
Right.
whiskey rebellion.
Whiskey rebellion.
And then he sent troops in to fuck all the farmers up. But
Yeah.
And guess
Hey,
what? Every
he still
troop
is our
got.
first president.
Guess what? Every troop got. Every troop got a bottle of whiskey, to take with him.
Yeah.
It was medicinal.
as they should have.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair.
Yeah, but we've never had insurrections until January 6th.
No, never. Never.
Sorry.
Never.
Sorry.
Should've given
Politics.
him
That's not
whiskey.
politics. That's history.
That's
okay.
history. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Never.
Distinction.
That was a quote.
That
sorry.
is yes. Yeah.
Aliens are coming too, so we're
Views
good.
expressed
Right.
are not necessarily
Right.
those of
No,
the
this
final
is
third
this is a
party.
wonderful, this was wonderful rye.
This is
I
delicious.
need to record that as a soundbite.
You're right.
We'd end up playing it half the show, but yeah.
So while we're on Jack, we should mention that Jack Daniels just released their
Yep.
10-year, 12-year, and newest member to the aged bourbon or aged Tennessee whiskey, the 14-year,
Oh, cool.
which is going to be coming out. 14-year, their oldest release since the 1800s.
Wow.
So with the
Wow.
slump, with
Yeah.
the slump in whiskey, now you're seeing some of these longer age products come to life,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
is nice
Thank God.
if you can get to them again. You know, like
Longer age and higher proof.
yeah, 40, 50 years ago, you know, it was 16 to 20 year was what you were buying anyways.
All the time.
All the time.
That was just
And
the
that
norm,
came from
yeah.
the Scotch and Irish world.
right.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
and then it, you know, went to 10, then to 8, then to 6, and to 4. Now it's, you know, 2. So like,
Which
it's nice seeing
admittedly, a
somebody's
6-year
higher.
rye is a great rye.
Sure.
It is.
Right? I mean, that's a
Rice
good
I
can
love
go,
seeing
target.
it.
rice
10
can
to
go pretty
15.
quickly down after
They can.
after more age. Bourbons can last a little bit longer.
Yeah, yeah.
Scotch obviously latches or works great longer. So.
Scotch,
Right.
Scotch. I
Scotch,
like
Scotch.
So
Scotch.
this 14 years going to be, this marks the first time, actually the first time since the early to mid 1900s that Jack Daniels has offered an expression at this age. So it's basically the typical 80% corn, 12% malted barley, 8% rye, and it's going to be bottled at 126.3 proof.
Oh, nice.
Notes on it are sweet bakery spices with layers of oak and flavors of cinnamon and creamy butterscotch balanced with rich leather.
Huh.
So
You know, I got to figure
Sounds
that
delish.
I would not be surprised if Old Number 7 has not seen any kind of drop in sales, but just
No.
has not seen any growth.
No.
And Jack Daniels had to look at it and go, we're just missing.
Well-
we're missing market share,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
Because
know.
they had a miss. So they developed a sponsorship between Old Number 7,
Is
Jack
McLaren-
Daniels,
yeah,
and the
and-
NBA.
Oh,
And-
well, they did with McLaren too.
And that flopped because when you think about NBA, it's a later in the year.
It's not that crowd.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't fly.
Yeah.
And
it definitely wouldn't fly in F1.
and they
No.
took a hit
McLaren,
on that.
yeah.
They took
Yeah.
a big hit on that.
Yeah.
So that was-
so
That was like 10 years ago they did the NBA one, right?
yeah, but they're feeling it now.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure.
Might
And
be more
then
the down south punch version. Or
4 to
crowd.
5 years ago they did their partnership with McLaren.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure that one went over very well because like the F1 crowd is not Jack Daniels.
Not Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
Like,
but I can
they're
guarantee
Scotch.
if you
They're
can find
Scotch.
if you can find a bar in the middle of the Amazon forest or the Sahara Desert, they'll probably have Old Number 7.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, you could be
It's still the
anywhere
number
in the
one
world. It doesn't
selling,
matter.
yeah.
You could be anywhere in the world and you can get
Yeah.
Old Number 7.
It's a hallucinogen.
It's-
They're seeing it in the desert. Old number 7.
Old Number 7.
yeah.
Mix it with
They're like,
cane sugar
water,
Coke.
water. They're out there. Whiskey,
Yep.
whiskey.
So Shanken News, I get a news article from them every day. They actually brought out that they're kind of shocked of the American palate of how we've actually went to the high proof, and they're like, "What's going on in America?" High proof stuff is what's driving all these distilleries starting to make it. Again, we're in America. We go big or we go home.
Always.
And that's why cigars are stronger now, because Americans buy it. We buy 80% of the cigars in the world. Same way with bourbon. Same way with whiskey. Any of that stuff. We want to experience something a little bit more. If you want to proof it down, great. That's no problem. Add a little water, add an ice cube. But in America, people are looking for the high proof barrel, or not just high proof, barrel proof. We don't want to water it down. We'll water it down ourselves if we need to.
You know what word has never, ever probably been used to describe an American?
Smooth.
Subtle. Definitely smooth, for sure, but definitely subtle. I mean, we're just not a subtle society. We've been basically like, go fuck yourself. We're going to do it.
I feel like
right?
what-
That's
I feel like
society. That's just our whole country.
The difference in America and the rest of the world, I feel like, is
They're not American.
Well,
That is probably the biggest difference.
Yeah.
yeah, we tend to, once we get into something, we get all in.
We're all in. Yeah.
And if you drink bourbon occasionally, yeah, 80 proof bourbon's probably all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get into it, 80 proof bourbon doesn't last very long. You have to keep going up to get those flavor notes and get the transitions and the changes in it. And I feel like that's just where we are right now in the world is America. And then what happens is, Japanese. Americans like it. We must love it too. So they try it, and then all of a sudden they buy all the shit up.
yeah.
And it's kind of cool.
But they
that we
still
actually drive
manufacture
it.
subtle.
Yeah.
They do.
They'll consume big time.
Yeah.
And they're also kind of a go all in. So even though their flavors are subtle, they are definitely all in on creating like these really, really unique, subtle. You got to search for it, but they went all in.
Well, Japan, I mean, we talked about this before, but they've been a huge supporter of American whiskey and American bourbon. And had they not been there in the 50s and, well, I'd say in the 60s and 70s, when America shifted from
bourbon to vodka,
Yeah.
and the bourbon tank. Japan's
And
what-
honestly, beer.
Japan is
Yeah.
what kept the bourbon distilleries alive and not collapsing. Honestly,
Yeah,
'cause they
if it
shipped
wasn't
it
for
all to
Japan, there would have been a lot of distilleries closing.
Going from the like early 60s into the 70s, beer, like American style light lagers,
Yeah.
just grew.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, being a kid and Coors was not available here,
Right.
right? And it was like people would go buy Coors and
Yep.
bring it back,
Yep.
right? Because you had to go across the Mississippi to get it.
Well, it's the same way with in the 80s when Rolling Rock, you couldn't get Rolling Rock here.
Right.
And all of a sudden Rolling Rock came in. Everyone's like, oh my God, Rolling Rock's the best. I'm like, no.
Have you drank a Rolling Rock lately? Not exactly
Not
the top
exactly.
top shelf in beer.
But again, you can't get it.
Right.
Corona, once you start getting Corona, all those different beers, yeah.
I feel like we're shifting again into this generational stage where we have, I don't know what you even call them now, but the 20-year-olds that are out there now, they're not drinking bourbon, right? They're drinking seltzers and they're smoking weed. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Shake-ups.
They're also getting into more gins, some of the artisanal gins, and we talked about I think over the last 15 years, every year everyone's saying tequila's the next big thing. Tequila's great,
Tequila's been on again and off again like 25 times in
It
the
is,
last 40
but
years.
it's a specific type of people like that.
Yeah.
They want that. They've tried to push it so hard, but I feel like that's where the bourbon world and all the other gins, vodkas as well. They've tried to actually kind of take back the market, and I feel like they do a better job than tequila on taking over the market. People who love tequila are going to have tequila, but how many people drink tequila straight?
It's not
Not
a
a
ton.
lot.
Yeah.
It's usually a
unless you're doing a
margarita.
shot.
And guess
But
what? Any repo is going to taste good in a margarita.
Yeah.
I do drink
Yeah.
tequila straight.
He's not normal.
But I
Yeah.
also,
But it's good tequila.
but
It's not
there's really
Patron.
good.
It's
There's
not-
Yeah.
some really good cocktails that people kind of just pass over, like a Paloma. Man, I love a Paloma.
Love a Paloma. Yep.
Speaking
So
of buckets
so
of
good.
alcohol.
Yeah. Oh my
Mojitos.
goodness. Mojitos. What was that? It was a Burn Pizza, right? Burns Pizza
Yeah.
that
Burns
I was
Grill
talking
Pizza,
about.
yeah.
Those-
Yeah.
So I didn't have the pizza there, but it's the first time I've ever seen a daiquiri, a traditional
Yeah.
daiquiri
The
on a drink
the
menu.
Rhino Bar, yeah.
And it was,
Yeah.
man, I mean, I
I
loved
love
it.
that place. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great, and I mean, you guys know I've loved the daiquiri
You
for
do.
a long time.
That's my favorite pizza in the city, bar none.
I got to try the
I
pizza.
gotta go down there. I've
Yeah.
been craving pizza so bad.
By the way,
lately.
hour and 15.
I know.
still
I know.
cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still on it,
Yeah.
man.
I'm,
yeah.
I'm still. I'm not even. I'm just getting to the final third.
I'll take the next cigar.
You're definitely going
we should
a little
probably
slower.
do
I really
You wanna do a
actually,
chat?
Do some
yeah,
ads.
we should pay a bill.
Okay.
let's do a sponsor.
Yeah. What? Hold on.
Anybody else need one?
I'm good right now.
All right. Will.
Final Third Cigar is Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. Come to Final Third for a selection of over 20 different Aladino cigars, including the
we kinda
Cameroon, a wonderful cigar with nice light flavors. Make sure and visit Final Third, the Aladino exclusive cigar lounge for
Definitely
Indiana.
need that soundbite of the views expressed by this podcast aren't necessarily.
So do you guys want to
Final
move on
Yeah.
to these
Start whiskey
Chattanoogas?
lounge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
so
do
we're
it.
gonna move on to the
Start
Chattanooga
that
stuff.
way because I
So,
have to chug this first.
We've got two. We've got basically one bottle's labeled B, one bottle's labeled D, and I'll tell you about them. I figure we'll taste them first, and then I'll tell you about each one of them. And we picked one, and one was number 2. So
Okay.
this Club Marzipan pick we did, and Ari, shout out to Ari. He
Shout out.
Shout
brought me
out.
back these samples, so I thought it'd be fun to taste them.
Download the Lick
So
app.
Chattanooga whiskey, we're big fans of theirs.
Big time.
They just started a single barrel program where they're releasing their ryes at cast strength for single barrels. So these are some of the first single barrels that they've released. Yeah, that'd
Still
be
specialty malt, right?
cool. Yep.
Oh, everything
100%,
there
yeah.
says yeah.
But
Yeah.
This is their rye mash bill. So we'll start with this is bottle D. So we'll just start with that.
Something we need to talk about amongst ourselves and everybody else that's listening. I think we need to start talking about what we need to do a final third barrel pick, final
Yeah.
third podcast barrel pick,
Yeah.
and whether we do that with Dirk and we actually get where he can actually sell some pours as well or some bottles as well. I would like to do that because
I
You know,
agree.
I know we have one coming up with the Aladino lounges. Not sure who it is. I kind of got an idea who it's going to be. I'm going to say yet because I don't want to actually say that, but I think it's going to be Old Forester.
Nice.
I hope so.
a good tease.
But we're looking to do that. But I would like to have us have one for us as well, and actually maybe be able to find someone we can partner with to sell bottles so people can buy them from the lounge, but not from the lounge.
You know what?
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
I know a guy who has some barrels. Yeah.
Well, that and you
Dude,
still
your
have
readily
stuff's
available.
great.
Yeah.
man.
There we go.
you have that charity. You have that charity pick.
I do. I have the
Hard truth.
Hard Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweet Mash Rye Pig.
So we could do. We got some options.
Yeah, yeah.
We got some options of some readily available things that we could do without trying too hard.
And we
could go-
haven't really we
could
have
raid
but we haven't
his
really
stash
talked.
and just do a blending.
Yep.
Yeah. That's true. We could do a bourbon 30. Do a
Well,
blend
we could
for
do
us.
with the MGP barrels too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Yeah, we start blending
I-
those. Oh
we've
my
got
God.
all those. We've tasted them all. We could go
Yeah.
back and
we got like probably a good 4 recipes that we could do a retaste between like 4 different blends and
Yeah.
So I got them all written down.
oh, we got chili.
Paloo.
Chili.
Oh, Palo took it. Oh man. And what did we get? Did you see where
This is
Scotty
insane.
Mack finished?
No.
Man, Palo wins the championship again. Good
all
for
right.
him. But okay, so we did the chili cook-off yesterday,
that way.
and there was something that we found out that I think surprised the hell out of me
Hopefully that
quite a bit.
bowl holds up.
Here you go.
Excuse me.
Oh, Honey's got his. So I've never been one to, like, other than maybe a little piece of chocolate or something, like food with a cigar is not something I've typically found, works all that much. It's just, one, some of it's the awkwardness of, like, you're smoking, you're drinking, you're eating, right? Some of it is just the flavors don't seem to mash real well together.
Yeah.
But yesterday we did the chili cook-off,
yeah.
and I took a bite of, I don't even remember whose it was. I took a sip of bourbon, and then I took a puff off the cigar, and I was like, holy shit.
This is the perfect pairing food with cigars and
it
whiskey.
completely worked.
So
It was
whose
so
is
good.
this?
So this is Scott's.
This is mine.
Okay.
Yep.
Will had just a little bit left in his, which we'll let him take it home so they can feed the kids tonight.
Yeah, so I made this with like,
Thank you.
I don't know, 17 different chilies, both dried smoked chilies and
I mean, why
and
not?
fresh
I
chilies.
mean, why not, right?
Exactly.
Even though you finished second.
I still did. I'm a Hoosier guy, so versus Texas chili, which is typically doesn't have any kind of tomato in it. This does. It has crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes,
So
and
freaking good.
it's got chili beans. Something like Texas people really frown about, but we're in Indiana. You got to make a Hoosier chili, right?
Yeah.
And it just works. It just absolutely works. So
This is good with this.
So if you literally take a bite of the chili and take a puff on the cigar,
I went whiskey first.
so good.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, it works all ways.
Whiskey
Yeah.
with the chili.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's take a puff now. This is science.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All of them work together.
Oh, it just works.
We probably should have actually talked about the whiskey first.
No,
It's okay.
it's good.
We'll get to it.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah,
I
so this
taste
one's
chili.
solid.
I taste
I taste-
chili in this rye.
Man, this
Yeah,
chili
right.
is fun. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I like the nose on this.
So we talked about, we had the chili cook-off. So we're looking at probably sometime early summer. We're going to do a smoked meat challenge. So,
I'm on that one.
and honestly, I would be totally fine if we just did a wing challenge, because I know of at least 3 people here right now. Well, no, I would say probably 5 people right now between the 4 of you guys and Chris. Wings are freaking amazing. They're so good. So I'd like maybe we do a wing challenge, and then we'll do some
like
other
that.
stuff down the road. Yeah.
We'll just do categories. We'll
And
do like
maybe
wings, brisket.
maybe we get to once we get past fall and towards winter, we do some kind of a sweet challenge. Do a whatever you want to do as a dessert. That'd be kind of fun too.
Okay.
So I think with this rye, I get you can see that chocolate malt kind of shining through more.
Yeah.
You get this chocolate nose, so kind of
Oh,
really
yeah.
nice on the nose.
Oh, that's good.
Man,
It's really good.
Sorry, Dr. J, but you're missing out.
Well, you know, if you'd show up, that would
Chattanooga.
help.
Yeah.
can't hear it in the lounge.
Yeah.
You can now because, the magic of these guys, it actually sounds really good in the lounge.
Yeah.
So Dr. J's in Franklin with his kid that is
Whatever.
at the Music City Mystique Drumline.
Priorities. Come on, dude.
Yeah, you know.
Jeez.
Hope I said-
Cigars, whiskey.
Okay, so
kids.
speaking of drumline and marching bands and things, I didn't know that the tuba that the marching band people had was different.
Yeah, it's a sousaphone.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like a shoulder mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Not
thought
all.
this.
Well, they got two different kinds.
Yeah, so this one was a shoulder tuba.
Like up on
Yeah.
the shoulder. Yes.
Yeah, like-
yeah.
I
Versus
thought-
the sousaphone that wraps around.
I thought they were
wrap
doing it
around
wrong.
sousaphone,
So like,
and they have
I'm working
bazooka
IHSA
mount shoulder.
girls basketball championships yesterday, and they show the band, and it's this dude holding the tuba like this, playing it upright, and I'm like, I don't think he knows how to play that. And then I looked it up, and I'm like, that's how that's supposed to be.
Yep.
That's really weird. Okay, if you Google shoulder tuba, it
That's what it
actually
is, huh?
comes up as shoulder tuba. It's for marching.
right.
I didn't know that.
And they look pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you're carrying like it's some sort of like metallic bazooka thing
Yeah.
on your shoulder.
So then
Okay.
they showed the trombone player. I was like, he's holding it wrong.
Out of the four of you, who was in band? I know you were.
I play the trombone.
I was in band, not
You
marching
played
band.
trombone.
Okay, you
I
too?
play trombone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did all the
didn't.
bands.
I have
I was in every
I have
band.
no musical bones in my body.
Yeah, somebody was like, "How do you know what note you're playing?" I was like, "I'm playing this one."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Third position, fourth position. fifth.
I
Seven
read what it
positions.
says.
That
yes.
was a band nerd thing
so-
right there. Me and Scott
yeah,
both go
so-
3.
Yeah, trombone's bass clef, so
Yep.
Yeah.
different scale, but
Yep.
I had to do something.
Yeah.
Keep out of the
I
drugs.
started with saxophone, and then I realized I hated the changing out the reeds, and I thought it was disgusting to play.
Yeah.
And then
Fair.
trombone was at least you've got a
Swap
spit
the mouth
valve,
piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
at the bottom.
Yep. Band
Yeah.
was,
I don't know how
band was
people play
alright.
double reed instruments, like the oboe
No.
and the bassoon.
Bassoon. Yeah.
That's,
Reeds are a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough with one. I can't imagine trying to manage two.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the weird thing about the double reeds is you got to put your mouth around it and blow through it, as opposed to using your embouchure to push on it.
Right.
You blow through it. Now, like, to me, that's just like playing
The
a kazoo.
embouchure.
By the way,
Kazoo.
by the way, anybody listening out there that doesn't know anything about band, I'm with you, buddy. I have no clue what they're talking about.
Skip.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, if you double tap to the right twice, it'll go 15 seconds.
Yes. Yes.
Unless you're listening right now, then you can't skip because we're live.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So pause and then skip it in 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. There you
Go
go.
to the bathroom, come back.
All right,
This is your
so
halftime show.
D is like a really good malty rye. I feel like this got good
Yeah.
chocolate notes.
Yep.
Holds up well.
That's
Holds
great.
up with the food, honestly.
I was gonna say
It does.
Isn't
Yeah.
chocolate with chili a thing?
Yeah.
That you
is,
put like
yeah, it's
chocolate
big
chunks
time.
with
I
that.
had cocoa powder in my recipe. Yep.
That plays with this pretty well.
When I did all my chili peppers, I did so when you're making Texas style, you do what's called like the chili tea,
Yeah.
and you basically just boil your water with the dried peppers in it.
Well, you told me that yesterday. I've never done that technique, but it sounds
Yeah.
like you really concentrate a lot of flavor doing
You
that.
do. It's a
Sweating the
ton.
peppers and
It
boil
all
them.
stays in the water.
stays
Yeah, and I mean that water it's like a black tea. Like that's
wow.
what it looks like when you're done, and then you just take the whole thing and put it all in a blender, and it smelled like mole.
I put my heart in the
That's
blender.
what it's.
Yeah.
It's a lot like a mole, and if you'd add chocolate to it, it would absolutely be exactly like a mole.
So I'm gonna make you guys pissed off right now.
Do it.
I normally hate chili.
I'm not a
don't
chili
like.
person.
I don't like beans.
Oh,
I
man.
don't like the beans in chili. Yesterday changed my entire outlook on chili because all four of them were unique, but all four of them were not like the beans were not the focus.
No,
This
no.
changed my
It
life.
shouldn't be. Yeah.
And I get some of those chilies that have so many beans in it. It's like, God damn, I don't want to eat this many beans in it. All of those were actually balanced nicely with just a few beans in it. You know, like this chili here, there's probably maybe 6 or 8 beans in my entire chili.
Yep.
My
That's
mouth's
perfect.
on fire.
It should just
perfect.
be there.
Yeah, and Becky said this has
Spicy.
no spice.
Yeah.
My mouth is on fire.
It's but you take that and
Hey,
you
retro real quick,
You
see what
know,
happens.
oh, if you retro,
Oh,
if
the
you
retro is
it's gonna
amazing.
it lights you up, dude. It's
Yesterday, I
Yeah.
ate a whole bunch of chili and then I retroed a red.
Yeah.
And I started crying.
Definitely made my face a little red. I
he
feel
did.
that.
His
yeah.
eyes watered
I'm
out.
over
He
here
was
like,
dripping.
I'm
yeah.
so happy
Yep.
right now.
I can't believe
man,
But like the
I didn't
beans
even know I
should be
won
there
yet. This
for
was waiting
texture.
for it.
There should be some.
a little bit of texture, a little bit of flavor,
So
right?
so what's hilarious about this is we're eating number 2,
Right.
and it's delicious with the cigar, the
Yep.
bourbon, everything. All of them were great yesterday. So
Well, and the one thing I thought was interesting is we all use different meats.
yeah, you use venison.
What
I
was
use
yours?
venison,
Venison?
in mine.
Yeah.
What's this one? Just beef?
I think Brandon and I were both just beef, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah, we did
Will
just ground beef.
Smoked chuck roast.
Chuck roast,
Chuck
and,
roast?
Sausage.
hot sausage.
Yeah.
I bet your rabbit would have gone good in this.
Dude, God,
bet.
I want
Yeah.
rabbit so bad.
We need more
I
nachos.
love rabbit.
Hey,
God, I love rabbit.
Fox Garden has rabbit on rabbit
I
catch.
heard that.
Now.
Oh my
No
God,
way.
I want to go there so bad before
haven't tried it,
that's
so
out.
I
Yes.
haven't
Speaking of
tried it.
Fox Garden,
If you haven't had rabbit biscuits and gravy, by the way.
Oh God, I have.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
so
great.
Fox Garden's opening up in downtown Pendleton.
Yeah.
cool.
where,
No way.
The old bank, right? The First Indiana Bank building, is that right?
No, it was the restaurant.
The
Oh,
old
they're
Yeah,
taking
restaurant.
over the Addicta 39 place?
They're probably a
Not
bank
the depot.
restaurant.
I think it was
Or
in the
the-
bank
Oh,
restaurant
it's
building.
the bank restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
That
it
one.
was.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell
So
yeah.
It'll, I mean,
I'm
it's
so
you know
happy.
same distance either way, but for me, I'm much closer now. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be nice.
It's
having that
3
option.
minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how nice it's been. Like we went to Hacienda, we emptied the trailer, went to Hacienda, and then we came here after that. And then it took
Nice.
like 90 minutes instead of 35 minutes one way to go 35 minutes back. the
9
other way to
minutes,
sit here.
not 90. 9.
What?
You said
and everything.
Well,
oh,
I
the
meant
whole
for everything.
the whole
Right.
thing,
Eating
yes,
and everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
Like eating,
Yeah,
getting
versus
here
being
and then
gone for
going
4
home.
hours,
Yeah.
you were gone for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You have a 9-minute
Yeah.
drive home now.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
we went to Wolfie's.
Yeah, that was
And
great.
you're like, oh, it's right here.
yeah, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes home.
I'm gonna
Jumping
try.
ash
I'm gonna
everywhere.
try
It's like
B
everywhere.
real quick. I've
get on
got
the
guys.
beat
I got to
already.
get out of here in like
Yeah.
10
I know
minutes.
you do. I know you do.
But I want to try B real quick, and then
You do it, I'll get there eventually.
so I'll just go ahead and say what the two are.
Say the weird thing.
I will say once chili is on the palate, it's chili.
Yeah,
Tasting chili. Yeah.
Jen makes some pretty good chili.
Oh, yeah?
It kind
We don't know because she didn't enter the competition.
Again, a pairing is supposed
Well, there was no food at their
to
house, so
accentuate
It's hard to
things,
cook.
right? I mean, look, if you taste chili by itself, or you taste, you have a cigar by itself, or you have bourbon or rye by itself, you're tasting those things. It's the idea that all of them together
Yeah.
get you new and different flavors, right? That's
Yeah.
the idea behind pairings. And so I totally agree with you. Like, I got lots of spice. This Project Lomas,
Yeah.
nice cigar. I don't think I really would consider this like any kind of huge spice
It's
bomb
not
of
a
any
spicy-
type.
It's not
No.
spicy.
Yeah, kind of laid back, nice.
More of a medium.
But it's
Yeah.
great because I'm getting all these great flavors off this cigar that are kind of counteracting with what's happening with the chili, and it's just making them taste fantastic
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So the mash bill on the first one we had, which was D, was malted rye, yellow corn, caramel malted rye, and chocolate malted rye. And we got that chocolate note.
Yeah.
Cooper's char 4 with no toast profile on it. So 116.7 proof. And now we're on to B. And I'll let
Totally
everybody
different nose.
taste B, and then I'll tell you what B is.
Definitely a different nose on this one.
Yep, 100% different.
Seems a little sharper. Scott Dixon was second, by the way. Oh wow,
Oh, I like the flavor of this.
this one has a spicier nose.
Now I'm kind of, tough to find the spice on the palate just because chili.
Chili's, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
chili's coating it up a little bit. It's going to happen,
Oh man.
but it's really nice with some of those caramel notes coming through.
Really? Because I kind of felt like this cut through.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This chili is just begging for a whole box of cornbread to be dumped in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. For those
Wow,
of us that
wow.
aren't lactose intolerant, a little sour cream would go
Sour
a long
cream goes
way.
a long way.
Yeah.
So I have a favorite between both of these.
I'd say it's one, isn't it? Or D.
What do we?
So the first one was D as in David. This second one is B as in boy.
I think I'm a B
I'm a
fan.
B.
I'm a
I'm a
B
B
fan.
fan.
I'm there too. Yeah,
I think I'm in the boy band on this one.
but it's hard because we started eating chili.
So B is again malted rye, yellow corn, caramel malted rye, and chocolate malted rye. The Coopers though on this one's different. This was in a different barrel. So this is a char 2 with a toast profile.
Okay, I think the toast is.
So this was toasted and
Yep.
a char 2 as opposed to no toast and a char 4.
I think the toast just adds an element of kind of, I don't know, marshmallowy type sweetness to it
Yeah.
that I really like.
There's a
And I
good
think
amount of
that's what I like.
cinnamon on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this is 118.1.
Man, that heightened the spice for me a lot.
You
You
were
really
already
brought
on
it up,
fire.
didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That brought out a lot of that cinnamon.
Yeah, don't retro.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it on this one because that brought out a lot of those spices.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back to the Larson
So-
now
going
with
retro
this.
hill. Let's go.
The club pick was B.
Was it?
B,
Okay.
yeah, which we all
Good
kind
call.
of
Yeah.
migrated towards. So
Both-
I
Is
think
it
they
going to
were
be a
great.
ridiculous
Oh, yeah,
price
they
or
both
is it
were
going to be
great.
Both
reasonable?
are great. Yeah. Yeah.
Both are great. They're just totally different.
Yeah, Will's the price going to be reasonable on this or is it going to go?
I think there's going to be around 65.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
perfect.
it's very-
All right.
Very reasonable. Yeah.
Chattanooga's a lot like Whiskey Acres. They keep their prices down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember what didn't the club do a pick? No, that wasn't marzipan. It was
Wasn't marzipan, it was shit.
sealback.
Sealbox. Yeah.
So
Sealbox
Marzipan did it, but Sealbox
Right, is the one that and they
jacked it up on the old
yes.
Forester pick.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I don't think that'll happen here. And I don't know if Sealbox will distribute this or if it'll be Baxis. We've been using Baxis lately.
God, please.
And
Yes.
Baxis is, I like them. They're a little more reasonable. Yeah.
Do you know Todd?
Todd at Baxis?
Who's Todd?
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Zvi Wiesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to him, but
So
I
he goes
don't-
by Todd, but his name is Zvi.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, 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 yeah,
TZVI.
yeah, yeah.
Last name spelled like Weasel.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
Wiesel. Yeah, it's Zvi
How do you
Wiesel.
know him?
I did his interview when we were doing old Commonwealth stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we went to
No, it's
New
that
York and-
distillery not to be named.
that who will not be named.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of our interviews because a lot of the things that they deal with is storage and secondary type sales of bottles.
Very cool.
So yeah, he's a cool dude.
Seems like a very nice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a really nice dude.
Yeah, Old Commonwealth's getting a little heat right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, out there in the ether.
Yeah.
On the
Colonel
Bourbon
Randolph.
chance.
And,
Was that on
Colonel
shitty,
Randolph,
shitty
yeah.
bottle
No,
labeling?
I think
wow.
I think
Fucking
there was
with their
a,
people.
It was
to do
disgusting.
I
That
think
was
there was
awful.
video.
Our bubble labels.
So I messaged you
Yeah.
about, hey, what's in the
The Weller.
bottle?
Yeah, the
And
Stitzel.
Is it Stitzel Weller? I think a lot of people were led to believe it's Stitzel Weller. I don't know what's in the bottle. Like, I don't know what's in the bottle. I'm saying that right now. I have no idea. I haven't tasted it. I don't know what's in the bottle. But a lot of people are claiming that it's not Stitzel Weller, but it's a buff turkey. Which, for those that don't know what a buff turkey is, a buff turkey is a barrel of wild turkey that was distilled at Buffalo Trace with wild turkey's mash bill, but distilled at Buffalo Trace, and then barreled, shipped to wild turkey, and aged at wild turkey, which is still probably a badass, delicious barrel. Of
I'm sure it
bourbon.
is.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I'm sure it's
But
great.
It ain't 17-year-old Sistel Weller. either.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things. Like the originals, everyone.
It's the same
The
thing.
the lore was that the original Randolph products were part of that original Stitzel Weller
Correct.
distillate.
Correct.
But I mean, like it's the same thing with like the Black Maple Hill and all. Like nobody, it wasn't like public knowledge what that stuff was.
Right.
It was just assumed to be that. Same with like the Pappies.
Yep.
You know, and some of those decanters too were supposedly that same Stitzel Weller distillate from pre-prohibition. But what's the other one? Man, what was the guy? Mitch Einhorn. He's got the Twisted Spoke, the 16-year.
Finkel?
That Twisted Spoke was that
These Colonel Randolphs in
Einhorn.
secondary
Finkel is
were
Einhorn.
going for
2+
crazy money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Kissed a man.
250, $299 MSRP, and then I mean, some of the old Commonwealth re-release bottles were selling for $1,500 to $2,000. Like,
The cheapest I saw was like 1,200, I think.
yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Okay,
Like,
definitely try the larceny with the chili.
Oh, I know.
get that creaminess in there.
It's so good. Well, I didn't do larceny, but I'm doing the.
Oh, the larceny
Chat.
is spot on.
Chris
CG?
Gordon, everyone.
See you, buddy.
You going to the game?
Chris.
Fuel game? Isn't there a
Fuel,
fuel game?
there's a
in
fuel game today. Yeah, I'm not going either.
there? You're not going?
Oh,
You
by
going?
the way-
Is that where you going?
Yeah. Well, our niece Casey got us tickets, so
Nice.
we're going with her.
Shout out to
And
Fuel last
a
night,
bunch
big
of
win.
toddlers.
Holy shit, the fuel last night was so awesome.
Night
Wow,
and day
freaking
difference.
And I'll
time.
tell you what I love the best, and I know you guys left a few minutes early, but Cam Gray got the number one player of the game.
He should have.
And he should have. And
Yeah, but
his
great.
interview was so good.
I didn't
mean,
see it.
Oh, yeah, it was so good. They just called out, the guy, he effectively retired.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the goalie coach for the Fuel for the last year. And they had to call him up, out of retirement because we had Verbetic, unfortunately, not doing great, got traded. Goudreau got called up. We had to use our E-Bug, emergency backup goalie.
Yeah.
And so you can sign, you can have for a game anybody. Like you can literally go out into the crowd and just pull somebody if you need a backup goalie. Because you have to have a goalie, right? You can't play the game without it. So
I got a
that's
story for that. I'll
That's
tell you
so
in a
there's a
minute.
rule about that, and they pulled him out, and he did a killer job against the Everblades. Now we lost, but we had allowed 6 goals a game for the previous 2 games.
That third game was
And that
awesome.
third game, he held him to 2 goals, and he got to the third person in the shootout after holding them even through overtime, and
Shut him down.
that was, if you lose that late, you still get your point. He comes out last night, gets a shutout.
Shut up.
And also to the defense, congratulations, because there's only 18 shots on goal for, I think, the number 4 team in the league.
Yes.
Right?
That's great.
I mean,
For the game,
Iowa.
not just
I don't know what our possession
Exactly.
time was, but the thing that I noticed that stood out to me was just constant attack.
Yeah.
Like it was just like freaking bumblebees, a hornet's nest flying around.
Yeah.
And they were they were relentless. They never backed off, and they're just attacking constantly. And like that type of energy, man, I mean, the keeper definitely made great saves, and he made some phenomenal saves. But man, when they're attacking like that constantly, it makes your job a little bit easier. I
Well,
feel
and then
like.
we signed Lynch, who hasn't played professional hockey in 4 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was an AHL star. And we decided to sign him out of retirement. I think we needed some veteran presence, somebody that could come in and represent well. He had his first 2-point game. He scored a goal and got an assist. 2-point game. First time in, they said something crazy number. It had been like 5 years or something since he'd had that. And just between those two, and to listen to Gray be like, I just assumed I was done.
Yeah.
I just assumed I was done, and now I've got this little resurgence thing going. And he's kind of looking at it
Crushing it.
as this
Dude,
could
he's
end
killing it.
anytime. But the
Gonna
guy
ride
could,
the wave,
the
yeah.
guy. I mean, right now, teams in the AHL should be paying close attention.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a different player compared to what he was when he first came into pro hockey. He was all over the place. He just did not look like he was well in control of the game. He looks like a rock in front of the goal. I mean, he is just steady. He doesn't go flying everywhere. He's not going to make stupid mistakes. He doesn't overcommit. He's just playing his position, and I think he's just loving every minute that he still has a chance to do this. And he could, I don't know, the guy just keeps playing like this. Who knows where he could go.
Yeah, there was
All right.
somebody on the fan page.
I got to
that
roll.
was-
I knew you.
I got
Somebody on the fan page that was
All right,
commenting
brother.
We'll
that
see you.
it was
See you,
almost
brother.
like
Yep.
kids that go straight into college, not prepared to go to college,
Right,
and it ruins their college experience for them.
right.
As opposed to the kids that wait a couple years and mature and grow up, and then go to college, and they were like, okay, this means something. I need to focus,
Right.
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's what they were attributing.
Well, I kind of feel like maybe all the coaching advice that he's been trying to give to the other players,
He took it more.
he
off
took
me.
it to himself,
Yeah.
right? He's like, all these things that I used to do, and he doesn't make any of those mistakes anymore.
Yeah.
Like he's been so busy teaching it for a year and a half that he learned. So
Heck yeah.
might want your phone, buddy. Yep. And your lighter and your cutter.
Will is out.
He's out of here.
Yeah, I was so impressed with the fuel. It really felt like, boy, if there's a chance to still turn it around this late in the season, 12 home games left. We'll see what they do today.
Yeah.
Right? They're playing Iowa again. Again, this is like the fourth best team in the league.
Exactly.
So if they can come out and win 2 in a row against these guys, at that point you got to start thinking
That makes a statement.
Okay.
they can
Yeah.
beat anybody.
It's time to get back to the playoffs.
That's time to get back up there. We should not be losing to Bloomington.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we just should not. They're
or
not
Fort
that good.
Wayne. My
Oh, it's
God.
Yeah, I know.
ridiculous.
You took offense to that.
7-2.
That
was
pissed me off so
down
bad.
6-0. I mean, come on.
That's
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have to get some support on the backside with a second goalie.
Yeah.
But
I'll
if,
do it.
But
Well, that's
Cam
the
is
thing
young.
is like
and
Goudreau, when he's good, there's nobody better. Mm-hmm. But he has struggled, and I'm like,
he does get a little
get
streaky.
him back in there, man. We
Yep.
need him back.
Yeah, if we
But
got Gray and
Gray has helped a lot.
Yeah, if we got Gray and Goudreau,
Yeah.
and we managed to pull into the playoffs. I mean, what was it? It was last year or 2 years ago, something like that, where Toledo got a few players that came down from their AHL
Yeah.
team because their NHL team and AHL team both weren't good.
Yeah.
And if we get that same thing, because right now neither the Ice Hogs or the Blackhawks are out.
Yeah.
They're out.
They're gone.
Yeah. And the Ice Hogs are, I think, running in 5th or 6th place. So they're in the same position as us. We'll see what they do with the players that they get, and they could send some people down. I hope to God they don't send Weeks down. I mean, I wouldn't mind Weeks, but I almost think we'd have to put Gaudreau on the reserve, but
He would.
they won't because Gaudreau has got an AHL contract.
Yeah.
He's also 21 years old.
He is.
So it's like,
Yep.
you know, the Fuel, the last game, the Fuel has the best actual lineup that they've had all season. Probably
Yeah.
for 3 seasons. And it's
Cameron,
like-
King, Maximovich, Bielik, and Lemos.
and
That should be the number one line right
not
there.
only that,
It's like,
what
shout out to
was
Lemos.
it?
He's been killing it this year.
Lemos is awesome, man.
Bulmer.
Bulmer, we got Bulmer back.
Killing it.
He's
Oh
doing
my
a great
God.
job. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're finally starting to. I mean, after last night, and again, we'll see what happens today.
And it sucks because we're actually in the last third of the season for the ECHL. So they're finally putting together a team that can do something. We hope it's not too late.
Yeah.
It's never too
Look,
late.
we're right there. We're 2 points. Actually, now we should be tied.
Yeah, we should be tied.
But Bloomington will have the tiebreaker, but we should be tied after last night.
And that pisses me off. Bloomington has actually no following
Yeah,
at all. over
nobody
there.
goes to those
There's
games.
like 150 people.
It
at
is
the
their
game.
first season, and so you'd think first
I'm
season they'd be
sorry.
coming out and
Why would-
supporting like it's a new team, but
100%,
nope,
yeah.
they're not. They're just not. So they have to build
Because
it.
Bloomington took 3 out of 4.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, God damn. We got to get that going.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
It is.
But-
So IndyCar season started today.
Yeah, heck yeah.
We talked about it very
Talk
briefly.
about that.
What
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
St. Petersburg? Is that
The
where
St.
they were?
Pete was
Yeah.
the first race, and people were asking me like, "Hey, who you thinking looks good? Who's gonna?" I said, "Look, there was so many changes in the off season. So many guys changed teams. There's a new team. I don't remember their name, but there's a new team, and
I don't know.
there's some rule changes, and it's going to be crazy. Pillow coming out kind of sets the tone, right? Because
Sets the
set
tone.
the tone, boys. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting IndyCar season. There was a rookie and the new team that they were doing pretty solid in qualifying. I think they made top 9. So it's gonna be a great season. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to watch some IndyCar. That's a sign of the times. It's gonna start getting warmer.
Yep.
Thank God, 'cause it was 27 this morning. That sucked. Yep.
Eh.
I still
Yeah.
wore shorts and
It's
sandals.
fine.
There's no snow on the ground. So.
It's fine. It's fine.
Good. I needed to get warm before I ran out of propane.
Well, and I will say, your campground is looking like it's going to be full. Because we have invited probably 50 people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Carb day. Come
gonna
on
It's going to
down.
be so awesome.
Come
gonna be a
on
party.
down.
Bring your own chair because
Yeah.
Scott's probably going to run out.
That's
Yeah,
it. Bring
yeah.
your own camp chair. Probably
be
bring a
awesome.
bottle, or definitely bring some beers if you're going to go into the track.
I promise I will not get as drunk as I was last year.
No, you will.
That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie.
You can
All
can
right, I
ride,
won't drive.
ride
I'm
with
still
me.
hoping.
Hey, it's
I'm
better.
still hoping my buddy BJ Ray. Shout out to BJ. I
Shout
know he doesn't listen, but he's always my hookup for my bottle of Eagle Rare.
Sure.
So, yep, yeah, he's not a
Leader.
cigar guy at all. Yep, but hopefully we'll have another bottle of Eagle Rare. If not, then I'll be on the lookout. Somebody can hook me up.
Want
But,
to do a liter of Weller? I got one of those.
no.
We're trying to bring people in, not
Are
push
you?
them away.
What is wrong with you? Seriously? I was at Hacienda the other night, and Antonio brings out the bottle of Weller Special Reserve, and I said, Antonio, I'm sorry, but no.
Just dump it.
I said no, and he was like, really?
I'll give you
He
40
was
bucks
actually
to pour it out.
surprised. I was like, no.
Sell it to someone else.
Yeah. I said,
Yeah.
you'll sell that? I said, you can put whatever
Yeah,
price
just
you
don't
want
bring
on
it
it, and
back.
it'll be fine. You'll sell it. No, not going to do it. That's bottom shelf.
Make margaritas with it.
I wouldn't even have a cocktail with that shit in it.
That'd be weird.
No.
I got some
Yeah,
orange
not
cream
good.
Coke so we can use it.
I don't know. Maybe if you mix lime juice and sugar with it, it might actually be worth something.
Doubt that.
I doubt it too.
It'd be a good base for your chili.
that's it's probably
When you
It should be
boil the shit
relegated
out of it.
to cooking, right? Yeah.
Chocolate.
Margarita chili. Yeah. Let's go.
And again, nothing personal. The guys out there, all you
love
folks
it.
that loves Weller Special Reserve, I'm happy for you.
yeah.
It's
Just know that there'll be more for you because we're not buying it.
exactly. That's
I just have a stockpile.
So what else we have going on here at the lounge this week?
Yeah, what are we doing for the 3-year, Rob?
Shit, I'm drunk.
Yeah,
That's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
I saw
All
it
right.
happening. He
So-
got a little bit more cursive as it went on.
Oh, it's all cursive now.
Yep.
So
We had
Tuesday,
good whiskeys today, so.
there's a lot of whiskey. Tuesday we have the
You're right, we do.
yeah.
We got the thing.
Tony's coming out. We're gonna
Tony.
We're gonna be talking about
Shout out Tony.
the
horsies. Racing?
The
Tell me,
fractional ownership.
tell me the word.
Frac-
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I got you,
You
boo.
guys take over. You guys take over. Yeah.
So Tony's
Tuesday
coming out-
afternoon. What is it? What 6 is he gonna be here?
6
That's Tuesday
p.m.,
this week?
Yeah.
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 Damn it.
It's fractional
I gotta travel
ownership.
for work.
Basically, he's just going to run down and tell you how it works with the fractional ownership
Yes.
of a horse.
Which we are buying into a horse.
So Rob's ass may become a thing.
Rob's ass may be a thing. Yeah.
And
Rob's ass is a
they
thing.
were going to bring a horse out, but apparently because of the trainer schedule
And timing of
and
the
timing
year,
and everything,
yeah,
the trainer was
yeah.
just like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we're not going to have a horse on site. But he's still going to come out and talk to that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then you have Cigar 101, the final one on Thursday.
101 on Thursday.
6 to 8?
It's going to be
have-
pairings, right? Is
Seven.
the idea? Is
6 to 7?
that's
7, 8?
the kind of main topic of discussion is pairings.
Yes. Pairings, tasting, flavor notes, all that stuff. Yeah.
Tongue
Yep,
mapping.
yep.
Yep. Yeah,
Tongue
bring out
maps.
the tongue map too. That'll be
That'll be
great.
perfect.
And
No,
then
no tongue map. No tongue
Friday
map. That's
we
bullshit.
have the PAX Vermo event.
There we
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So PAX is going to be out here sampling some stuff.
Yeah,
So if
we
you're
have-
a beer person,
If you're a beer
come
person,
out.
definitely come out for that one.
We have Oliva coming out for an event. Dwayne Blazek is going to
Shout
be
out
out here.
Dwayne.
So we'll be doing that this week. I'll be posting all this stuff out on social media. So follow us out there, and you'll be able to see what we have coming up this week.
And then shout out to March 14th for Harrah's opening day.
Oh,
There we go.
yeah,
we
finally.
Need to talk to Tony about that when he's here on Tuesday.
We
about,
need to talk amongst ourselves to figure
yeah.
out if we're going to be out there for the podcast.
That's
or
a
we're
That's
good
the
gonna
call.
do
plan.
that day.
The plan is
Yeah.
to be on the stage inside, and we'll do a live stream.
That's
They're going to
awesome.
get us some
Yeah.
internet, and we'll
Be
hopefully
out there,
able
and
to take some of
then
their
I'm probably
feeds
going to
and-
end up having knee surgery, so I'll be
Are you
sitting.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I tore my meniscus. Yep. It's killing me right now because every time I go to stand up, I about fall over. That's fun.
Can't feel
That's
it.
not. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, actually, this one hurts.
Oh,
Yeah.
brought the feeling back.
Yeah, brought the feeling back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah,
but-
so that's the thing. So I'll be sitting around the house for the opening weekend of March Madness, which I normally do anyway. The best part is
You come sit here, man.
I'm not supposed to get up, so Janelle
Oh,
has to be
darn.
my server.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you how excited Lisa's
You
face
better
right
earn some
there.
brownie points ahead of time for that one.
Believe you me, she already knows. She knows
She's
exactly
getting
how it's going to
$25,000
go.
speakers.
She's-
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting ready to go through all the surgeries this year. So
Yeah, it's oh,
Nice
hey.
catch.
Yep.
Oh, Lisa's got a little bit to add.
Oh, no.
Get in
Oh
there.
no,
Oh.
you don't.
No, I was just giving you the eye roll for Janelle.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I
We
know.
appreciate
Yep. Yep.
So then
that's
we'll
fair.
go ahead and fast forward in the future. We also have March 20th is going to be first round Final Four.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to
Yes.
have those on
Yep.
in here.
Yep.
You guys
Yeah.
want to come in, hang out,
All
grab
the
a
Final
stick,
Four. Yeah.
drink a bunch.
Well, that's the first round. The final four is in April.
April.
week,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the Aladino event
yeah,
happens.
Yeah. Trey Max.
So April 5th.
Yeah, April 5th.
I will say Trey Max podcast is gonna be awesome.
It's going to be great.
We're gonna be
always
talking
is.
all conspiricies.
Yep, I've got it all preloaded. I'm
100%.
ready to go to test
Yes.
his knowledge.
Yeah, there we go.
So do your research.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Especially with all that, we'll be talking plenty of JFK,
Yep.
right? Because all the JFK stuff
Well,
got
they're
released.
teasing it. They're not really releasing much. But yeah, they are teasing that they opened up the JFK investigation.
Yep,
files.
yep. They decided not to release for now the Epstein client list
Yeah, well, they said because there's so many victims, they need to reach out to the victims
and make sure it's okay.
and make sure that everything is settled.
What
on
about the
their end first.
perpetrators?
Well,
There's
I get to
only
sweat
there's
it a
only
little bit
two,
longer.
Right?
2 or 300.
Right.
Whatever it is.
right.
Yeah.
That are
Whatever it
left.
is.
All right. Well, we got events coming up. Are we doing any sales this week? Is there, we doing 3% off for the 3-year?
No.
3% off of
No,
nothing?
we have, like I said, Oliva event. We'll have our event specials on that. We'll do some
Box
other
sales,
stuff. We'll
yeah.
be posting out there.
A reminder
Yeah.
about the pairing of the month.
Yep.
Because it's
Yes.
a really good one.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you haven't had this pairing of the month,
That was the last episode.
yeah, last episode we talked
Yeah.
about it. The fresh out of the oven hot cake and the Joseph Magnus cigar blend.
It's really good.
It's a
together.
great pairing.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the pairings I'm kind of like, oh yeah, this is nice, it's good, it's fine. This one's
This
actually
one
like
works.
it's
Yeah.
just absolutely works. Like
It
it's
is.
one of the
Yeah.
better ones we've done.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we try to make sure that they're all good, right? But this one is great.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's
That's
good.
all of March. So
Yes. So
Heck
you
yeah.
come out for some March Madness, get yourself a hot cake, fresh out of the oven, Joseph Magnus.
And that's not just a pairing. That's also if you order both, you get 10% off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
whole
not
thing.
just a pairing.
Yeah,
It's
One
Yeah,
other
actually
thing,
just
in
a-
March is we'll be doing a virtual tasting with Larrikin Bourbon.
Yes. The 26th,
The 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah, so
Third,
we're doing
okay.
a virtual with them. We have the 10-year cognac finish. I got a bottle of that at home that they shipped us. We'll be testing that out, and we'll be joined. I think his name is Joe, and they are also adding a walk-in humidor at their place. So at some point this summer, we're going to go there too, and do one there, and have their sommelier on with us as well. So
I am ready for summer.
that'd be fun.
Yes.
heck yeah,
Me
looking forward
too,
to summer.
man.
Cannot
So
wait.
Me too.
we're going to plan out some trips this summer. If there's some places you want to see us go, man, leave us a comment, shoot us a message, whatever. If you're a distillery and you're listening to this, let us know. We'll
Yeah.
come see you.
Yeah.
We've been there. We'll go again.
Yeah, well, like Will said, going down
Yeah,
to
Boundary Oak.
Boundary.
Yeah, we're going to go to Boundary
Yeah.
Oak and
Yep.
do one there. So we'll have more stuff coming this summer. We'll do some road trips again.
If you've been on I-65 heading south of Louisville and you see the sign that says that has Abraham Lincoln's face on it, that's Boundary Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a cool place.
yeah.
So
I haven't been there yet.
yeah, I've just been by it. I haven't actually like stopped in there, but it looks like a really nice place.
Okay.
So
Well,
Good-
hopefully we
good
get a chance to
stuff,
get there.
yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
but yeah, that's about it. So let's
Yeah,
finish these
yeah.
up. I got some
Yeah.
chili to eat.
We will be hitting Harris once the Tuesday stuff starts. We'll be out there
Yeah.
quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I don't
So.
think it's till like end of
May.
May, 1st of June.
Yeah.
Yeah, they taper backwards the same way they taper out at the end of the year. So
Yeah,
it'll start
yeah.
with weekends again.
Start weekends and then work their way
then
back.
they'll
But we
go
hit the
Thursday,
summer and we'll be
Wednesday,
out there a lot of
Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Always,
so same thing.
yeah.
So come hang
Yeah.
out. We'll start doing members events at Harrah's. So we'll post more about that for members content and yeah.
Yeah.
So hang
Some
out
good
with us.
stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, but yeah,
Sweet.
let's call it a day, guys.
Yes.
I
Let's
like
keep
it.
drinking. So, Rob,
Yeah.
where can they find you at?
Final Third Cigar everywhere. Yeah.
Love it. Heine,
I'm at Moto Photo Will on Instagram.
there
You can
go.
find me at Scotty D Smokes.
Love it. Find me at both the visuals, Spencer Leeds, and don't forget to follow the Final Third podcast and Final Third Cigar on all platforms.
All right,
Thanks for
guys.
listening, everyone.
Thanks.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
30-year anniversary.
Bye, Mom. Peace.